Damn.
I was
Hella epic.
done. Then I had to get other stuff done today. I was just kind of like, okay, it's just too much. Hey, what's up, everybody? Everybody hear us out there? Cool. Listen, we are now just testing things out, right? So today is going to be the Odyssey spoiler review and GainesCon updates. All right. So it's me, Barry Gaines, and my man Justin Greene from Greene Screen YouTube. And we have our channel, which is Mission Movie Reviews. Check it out on YouTube. You know what I mean? We're trying to build, so help us out. Also, we are also GainesCon Film Festival in Las Vegas coming this December 4th and 5th. And Mr. Justin Greene just became our director of marketing. So anyone out there listening, give him a heads up, tell him what's up, tell him congratulations, all that stuff. It's about beginning a whole new realm of just stuff for GainesCon. We get to the next level. And thanks to Justin Greene, we're going to get there. So right now we're testing things out. So if anyone out there can't hear us, let us know. So I'm gonna go to the chat here, see if anybody else is popping up and whatnot. So today, what we're doing tonight is, if you're up, it's gonna be Odyssey, the Odyssey, right? Spoiler review tonight, guys. Odyssey discussions. Now, before we get into the whole Odyssey things, guys, let you know this. We're not scholars of the Odyssey, all right? I'm not having Ithaca on my brain or whatnot. I don't have all the cliff notes and shit. So just let you know, don't roll out there and start throwing some Odyssey chapter 10 on me. We're not that. We are spoiling what we saw, okay? Justin saw it. I saw it. You know what I mean? Justin already reviewed it on Greene Screen on YouTube, so check out for his personal review. But tonight, we're going to do a spoiler review about everything we liked or didn't like about the Odyssey, because Odyssey has just broken ground in movie making. And we just want to be part of that by doing this tonight. So anyone out there that sees us, that hears us, say what's up, hello. And if you want to chime in as we are chiming. So, all right, let's get to it, man. All right, I have to pull up some notes here and whatnot because we're
Now,
live
real
tonight.
quick,
So.
we're on both our channels, yeah?
Yeah, so right now,
Okay.
all right, so everyone out there who's looking at us, you're just going to have to just hold up for a second because I want to check on my phone and make sure that we're all live. Yes, we're live on Mission Movie Review, which is our channel, which is nice. Let's see, the Instagram channel. I think we're live. I don't know how they let us know. But I know why. I know what's up. Okay, here we go. All right. So now we are going live on Instagram. So, oh man, you know what? We're all over the place. I hope they fix this for Instagram because we are not centered in this. So if you guys can't see us or it looks weird on Instagram, just let us know. We're working off of Riverside. Hey, Riverside, what's up? We're trying to do the Instagram feed here, and it's not being centered from what I can see. So, all right. So now we're going to go to Facebook. I got both my pages up. Cool. I'm up there. Justin, how's your YouTube page looking?
Let me check it out real quick.
All right, cool. Let's see. It looks like my GainesCon is up on Facebook, but not the Barry Gaines. I thought I had that going. YouTube page looking.
So it looks like I'm up on mine.
Yeah.
For some reason, I have. I was testing a bunch of stuff on my channel like a while back, and so right now, I think for some reason, on my side, what I can see is it says "Welcome to my test." So I don't know why it says that on mine.
I don't know.
but it appears that the video is up there, so
it is.
we're just
Okay,
gonna let
cool.
it ride.
All right, cool. So I got mine up. You got Greene Screen is up. We have GainesCon Film Festival on Facebook is up. We have Instagram, GainesCon Film Festival Instagram site is up, but it's not centered right from what I can see. So I'm not exactly sure it's actually working the way it needs to. So I don't know what's up with that. Because I'm looking at it, I'm live now, but it's not coming up like on my side as, let me see, as live. I don't know. Let me see. Let me go somewhere else and see if it's coming up that way. Give me a sec, guys. Yeah. All right. Well, it's up. All right, let's get to it. Let's get right to it. We got a few things up and going. Anyone out there that can see us, let us know and whatnot. So, right now we are up on Instagram. We're up on Facebook, GainesCon Film Festival. We're up on Greene Screen, Justin's personal YouTube page, as well as GainesCon Media Incorporated YouTube page as well. So check it out. Also, Mission Movie Reviews, which is ours, by the way. So, our place. So if you're out there, say hello. What's up? All right, so let's get to it. So the Odyssey, starring everyone in Hollywood, but directed by Christopher Nolan. All right. So we have, so of course we have, what's his face? We got Matt Damon as Odysseus. Say his name. His name again, Justin.
Odysseus.
Odysseus, right? I'm not good with these Greek names, so bear with me, peeps. Bear with us. If we fumble, it's okay. It's what we do. You know, Odysseus, right? You got Anne Hathaway as his wife. You have Spider-Man as his son. You know who he is. I'm just playing around with the names. And then you have some hip hop guys in there too, whatnot. You had Lupita Nyong'o, which I think she's fine as hell, is playing not Athena. Who is she playing again? That is Helen of Troy. Yes, yes. She's in there for like, I don't know, a hot 2 minutes. I mean, damn. So we'll get into all that stuff, controversy, whatever, supposedly, whatever about it. But anyway, I went to see it. Justin went to see it. I went to see it in IMAX. I didn't have a chance to see it in 70 millimeter because number one, this movie is the first movie in history to be totally filmed in 70 millimeter IMAX, the IMAX freaking system, the first one. And let me tell you, I went to see it in the IMAX, not the theater that actually has like the print, but I still saw it. Number one, I guess everyone who saw it noticed that bitch was loud, yo. Good Lord. I love it. I love it loud, bro. Justin, was yours loud?
I mean, there's definitely parts where it was like loud, but I don't think it was ever overbearingly loud. I never felt like there was an issue with the audio for me.
Right.
But we'll talk about that for sure.
Okay, yeah. Because we were talking about the audio sometime with Christopher Nolan's, movies and all that stuff. And let me tell you something. I had no problem with his movies when it comes to audio. I don't know if you guys are just used to the whole TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that, everything coming clear through someone's phone. But when it comes to cinema, some things are purposely done because you're watching a world that's created for you, and there's going to be elements in the real world that's not going to be crystal clear, just like real life. You go out in the street, someone may say your name, and you're like, what? Because that's what happens in life. You know what I mean? And you just say, what? And, oh, yeah. Well, that's what Christopher Nolan's doing. You may hear something and you go, huh? What? And he'll wrap it up later. Just keep listening. So everyone out there who has an issue with his movies, with the sound and everything, I don't know, that's a you problem, but I don't have a problem with it. Anyway, so you know what? I've been yapping. We have a lot to yap about. Justin, yo, first things first. What do you think about Odyssey? You went to see it. What's up?
So this movie is a masterpiece. It's perfection. I'm not sure how you see it any other way. And I will say that number one, overall thoughts on the film, like Barry was talking about, we're not scholars of the Odyssey. I didn't read the book when I was in school. I did everything I could to avoid reading it. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, right.
So with movies like Gladiator, Troy, things of that nature, 300, as unbelievable as 300 may be, right? All those types of things. To me, the culmination of all the things that were great about movies like that came before this has been brought to fruition by Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan being the type of director that he is, like you're talking about with sound, he's going to make that choice to make you a little annoyed at times with maybe the volume or the lack of volume or the muffling of certain things. But at the end of the day, like Barry was talking about, he's going to wrap everything up in the way that you need it to be to have understood the film when you leave the theater. You feel me? So this movie, on a standpoint of the realism, the verisimilitude, the way that he filmed the giants, the scene with the pigs, that shit was crazy. We'll talk about that in a minute.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? The stuff on the high seas and the way that it was like in the storm, things of that nature, the way that he dealt with the gods and given that a grounded feel and sense, the way that he kind of structured the movie from the very beginning when we first meet Odysseus and how we meet him, kind of like in Desperado, when Steve Buscemi is talking about the light dims just for him. You think you're about to see his face, but you
Yeah.
don't. That's the
Hell
beginning
yeah.
of the
Hell
movie.
yeah. I
And
love
then
that
in the
movie.
end of the movie,
Yep.
same shit. We'll talk about that in a minute, my guy. Right? But just the
No
way,
doubt, no doubt.
just the way that he crafted everything and the way he
Yeah.
does it in all of his movies, whether you
Right.
understand the film or not, like other movies. But with this one, the way he crafted it, and then also at the same time, this is a straight old school period piece film, right? Which is
Mm,
not always accessible to everyone. So for
right.
someone like Barry and myself, who are not Odyssey scholars, if we weren't into all types of movies, which we are, but if we weren't and we went into the theater, be like, man, I don't know, I can't follow this, the way they're talking, the this, the that, the other thing. This movie blended extremely well. Chris Nolan's vision, a vision that's accessible for pretty much anybody that wants to go
That's
see
right.
this movie,
That's right.
and then people that love the Odyssey. And if you have done a little bit of research, and by research I mean your Googles, then you would know that most film fans, movie purists, right, scholars, and people like that are all chiming in to say Chris Nolan did a phenomenal job with this material. So, from handling the material well to dope ass direction and directional choices that he made, which again we'll get into in a minute, specifically. The
Right.
acting from top to bottom on point. Everybody fit extremely well. Someone like John Leguizamo stands out even better than you would have
Yeah.
expected.
Yeah, no
You know what I'm
doubt. No
saying? Like
doubt.
for
No
real, talk
doubt.
about him in a minute. You dig what I'm saying? And then it's a long ass movie. For me, it did not feel long. Okay. I mean, I ain't gonna front. I was tired when I went to go see it, but it still did not feel long to me. I was on the edge of my seat for everything. And then the way that things build up over here, sometimes that's why you need a long form story, because you have to let some things sit and marinate before you can actually allow the climax or the conclusion to come to fruition. If you don't have this over here, marinating, building, understanding what everybody's going through, then when it actually comes to fruition, you're kind of like, oh, okay, that was cool, but you don't feel it. And in the end of this movie, boy, you feel that shit. So I was like,
Yeah,
yes, I
yeah.
cannot wait to see this motherfucker again. And I said in my review, I didn't get to see this one in
Yeah.
IMAX or Limax, as they call it, where it's like fake IMAX or
Yeah,
7
yeah.
millimeter or anything.
Yeah,
I saw it
exactly,
at
like, exactly.
Cinemark, but Cinemark has a pretty good presentation. It was in
Yeah.
XD, so it was nice. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
XT. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I probably won't get around to being able to, go see it. It's a 3 hour damn movie. I got a lot of shit to do.
Yeah.
But still, beautiful in any format, I would imagine.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with all of that. I think this is a masterpiece. It's not perfect, but I think it's still one of those where it's going to be one of the probably the top 10 movies of all time. I cannot see how it cannot be. Just what he did with the film when it comes down to the aesthetics, when it came down to just telling the story that maybe a lot of people know, but then a whole lot of other people don't even know. See, that's what's so great about Christopher Nolan. Let me just get into his storytelling prowess as opposed to other filmmakers. One thing what tells you a master filmmaker is that you can actually explain something to someone that has no idea what it's about, even if it's true. Maybe it's part of some, scholar literature or something, and you say, you know what, I am going to explain this to you through this film medium, and you're going to understand it and going to like it, and you're going to call me great. And that's what Christopher did, because those that, just like Justin said, he was in school, he looking at the time when he was young, like Odyssey, man, come out of here, yo. Let me get some Run DMC or something. And that was the same way. I didn't care about that. I was like, okay, cool. I like the big stuff. Give me Terminator. Give me Aliens. At the time years ago. I wasn't reading Odyssey, but now when Odyssey came out, we know it's about the Greek mythology. We all know about Zeus and everyone else, and all the guys that are out there, Athena and everything else. But we never really seen too many movies like that. There are some classics out there, like Excalibur and such. Clash of the Titans to be the favorite one, but that's another story. But this one here, he's like, listen, I want to show you what Odyssey is about. Let me tell you guys, agree with me or not, he showed you what it's about. He gave you the spectrum of this world. He put the right actors in the right spot. He couldn't put everything that's in the book. So, all you guys out there who are Odyssey nerds, shut up. We know how this works. If you want the whole thing, read a book. Okay. I always say, as a filmmaker, pretty much a movie are the highlights of a larger story. That's what a movie is. It's the highlights of a larger story. He's getting right to it. And those out there who want him to speak Greek and how it was in the book, guys, come on, come on, come on. Would you stop it already? You know, he's here to explain it. You know what I mean?
Look at Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. Now,
Yes.
I remember seeing Romeo and
remember.
Juliet when I was in school. Funny story about that, but that's for another time. But when I saw that in school, I was like, all right, it's whatever. But Baz Luhrmann brought something new, fresh, told the same basic story, gave you the same plots, the same morals, values, love, and all of that. But he put his own flair on it. Again,
Right.
look at who was it that
Right.
did the Noah movie with Russell Crowe?
Oh, I didn't
It
even
was
know.
the
I didn't.
same
You know, I
cat.
don't think I saw that one, but I know what you mean. Not
Oh
Wolfgang
man,
Peterson, is it?
the name is
Forget how it
no
is.
no 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 no. It was the same dude that did Requiem for a Dream. The name is escaping me right now.
Okay, I
But
could look it up when
anyways,
you do
that
that.
guy, I remember a lot of people that was into the Bible were like, oh hell yeah, Noah, coming to the big screen, let's do it. Right. And that movie was
Right.
so crazy different with like rock giants and shit. And these people that were all about the Bible were pissed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Barry said, it's
Darren Aronofsky.
Darren Aronofsky, right? Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
same guy that
Great
brought us
director.
Mother, where they're like eating a baby or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Great director
filmmakers are going to give you their own creative slant to things,
Right.
right? But with Chris Nolan doing it, you're going to get something that's kind of brought the same way he did with Batman, that's a lot more grounded and again accessible. So if you're a big fan,
Right.
like I know for me, I'm a huge fan of DC, right? And a lot of people that just jumped on the bandwagon with comic book movies in the past like 20 years who haven't read a comic book in their life, but act like they know everything about comics, will just be like, DC sucks. But they're basing that off of the films. Fair point. Again, argument for another time. But if you actually read the material, let's actually have a discussion about what you do or don't like. So for people out there who really love the Odyssey, I would be excited if I was one of those types of people who knows the story, read the book. I would be one of those people who's excited saying, hey, more people are enjoying what I also love. And now we can also have a deeper conversation. Maybe I can put them up on that knowledge. So again, it's all good.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Chris
Because
Nolan knows what he's doing.
he does. I mean, because it's for the world to be educated on on Odyssey and the story of I always say his name wrong. Odysseus. I can't say his name for some reason. I don't know why. Odysseus, right? I'll get it one day before this stream is done. Odysseus. But anyway, for his whole like story, his 20-year journey of just pretty much getting home. I mean, that's the pretty much key. He went to Troy, did what he had to do, didn't feel good, nice about it. And then, he's trying to get home and shit happens. He started going to different islands and different places and start, meeting different creatures and places and environments that, got him pretty much almost killed. And pretty much, we can get to that later, his whole crew done. So it's like, it just wasn't really a good expedition. But they last for a while, though. I mean, 20 years is a long time, yo. To be with anyone for 20 years, you got to give yourself a pat on the back, you know what I mean? But yeah, I have to agree on that. Anyway, so anyone who wants to see Odyssey, please go see it. Don't worry about this, about like how they're speaking and everything. He just wants you to understand the story yourself, and you can take it however you want it. But I'm telling you this, I'm going to agree with Justin too. This is a masterpiece. This is a movie that is so well crafted, put together so nicely, and so smooth, and it's easy to take in. And let me tell you, it's creepy as well. Yo, Justin. Remember the
let's talk about some of these moments.
Yes,
because there was
Let's
there's two moments. If y'all seen the Odyssey or you know the story, whatever, two moments. One, the Cyclops. Spoiler, right? This is what you're here for. One, the Cyclops. Two, Xerxes with the pigs. Fuck, yo, that Cyclops shit. I was like, first of all, I like the design of the Cyclops.
Me too.
You know
me too.
Definitely
looks
different from like
definitely
looks different from like original. You know what I'm saying? But you're thinking like, okay, it's a Cyclops. How are you gonna kind of make this look not just believable, but like be taken serious? Because there's two different elements there. There's, do I take it serious, and then do I believe it in this world that you're creating? And if the world that you're creating around the Cyclops is like ultra realistic, ultra grounded, then the Cyclops has to be, manipulated just a little bit. And so the way that it was almost like his face was kind of sideways and you only were able to see one eye, that shit was unsettling. And then when he picks up that one dude and straight chomps on him, and then you see the blood and the way it looked, I was like, ugh.
But you know what's crazy about that scene, Justin, was like, okay, so Justin was talking about the Cyclops. Yes, the design of it is creepy the way it is. And what really makes it creepy because you always see the Cyclops in all stories, in all kinds of fairy tales or whatever, right? His eyes look like ours. This one is actually vertical. So right then and there, it looks a little odd, you know? Then his skin has like a kind of a weird, like spotty, almost like vanilla look to it or whatever. You know, and he's tall, he's lanky. It looks like he's not all there. Like he's not that conscious. Like I think he has bad eyesight. I mean,
Yeah,
I think that's the
yeah.
key, right? He has bad eyesight. So everything is about feel, it's about smell, it's about hearing. So he has real bad eyesight, although he has one big ass eye. But then, yeah, like you said, when he chomped that cat, the only thing that threw me off there, I'm like, I guess that's all right because they were keeping quiet. So all right, so spoiler alert, guys. What Justin was talking about is this. He grabs a guy, he chomps on him, blood comes out his mouth, right? So
They
the
ripped that
guys
dude in half.
below, yeah, I mean, he just kind of like, yeah, like some chicken. So Odysseus down below and his boys is looking up like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? So they're all kind of like really quiet. And all of a sudden, then it looks like, I guess the Cyclops didn't really hear them. And he just kind of just settled down like he got enough. It's like he got up, got some milk from the fridge, was all good for the man's the milk. Man's the milk, by the way. You know what I'm saying? He got his little chomp on. He like, yo, I'm good. And he just went down to sleep. So I was like, okay, I guess he got what he needed. He was done because they were real quiet. They're like, oh, what the fuck? So yeah. So that was creepy. There's some other stuff
I
too
like
about
when
that.
I like when they were like the and again the thing that I like about like a movie like this or just a movie where someone like just takes their time
Yeah.
putting you through the paces, letting you see how things go. They don't just like rush into it. Is like we see them trying to contemplate how are we gonna get out of here. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
then when
yeah,
they
yeah,
stab
yeah.
dude in the eye, because they basically stab him in the eye trying to take him out or whatever,
Yeah.
right? I like
Yeah.
how they kind of set that up like, all right, this, that, the other, boom. And then the way that he screamed, right?
Oh
Again,
man, right, right,
these creative choices. It could have sounded like anything, but
right,
the way
right.
that he screamed was like unsettling in of itself.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
that
saying? So it's
sound was
like just a lot of
crazy.
that stuff
Yeah,
was like creepy as fuck. I like
fuck,
how
yeah.
when they're running out
Because
of the cave, you don't really
yeah,
you see the Cyclops, you know what I'm saying? But you don't see him. Like they did a great job kind of hiding him behind the trees a little bit. And then when the
yeah,
camera's like on the ground with them running back to the boats, you can see him and you see enough of the Cyclops to understand, yo, this is a big old giant ass Cyclops. It looks good, it looks real, it looks grounded enough, but it's never like just straight up like there in a way
yeah,
that
yeah,
for a moment it's going to take you out of it. But again, however they filmed it, however they did the CGI or whatever it was, I didn't do the research on that,
yeah.
but it just looked phenomenal. That shit
It
was
it,
like
it, look-
that
it
shit was
looked
great.
real. It really did. And now I don't know how accurate it is in the book as opposed to what we saw in the movies when it came down to that. Cyclops is that it took them a little while to get out. So it wasn't like they were
Yeah.
there for a day. They kind of figured it out. Some people died and whatnot, and they figured themselves out. They were there like for days. Like it looked like it was just
Yeah.
days. They were just kind of there for a couple of days and trying to figure how to get the hell out because the Cyclops used to like lock the cage up with this huge ass boulder that they could not move. And this thing was like freaking, I guess it was like maybe 7 stories tall, something like that, 6 stories tall. So they couldn't move that thing. And he used to let's close it, right? Then he had the sheep. I guess the sheep was there for food, I guess. I wasn't sure exactly where the sheep kind of lied. And I guess they were for food because they didn't really explain that. Guys,
Mhm.
we didn't read the book, so I'm not sure. So let us know what was the sheep for. You know what I mean? Because it's like he had no clothes, he had no shoes on. It wasn't like he was all comfy. I don't know what the sheep was for, but the sheep were there, and there was a lot of them. So when they escaped, they found some stuff. Okay, first of all, they escaped, right? But they didn't escape, like we just mentioned, without some casualties. Okay, people were getting got when they tried to get away the first time. Oh, that was a bad idea, but some got away, I think. And then Odysseus is inside with his boy still after like a couple of days, but they figure a way out, right? They put some stuff on their back to make it feel like they're sheep because just like Justin mentioned earlier, that because we gave it away, guys. So this is a spoiler review, all spoilers. To remind us right there on the bottom. So we're talking about the whole movie. We're just gonna go crazy on this. When they like got the heat and they put that bad boy in his eye, and then they went ahead and did they stick him like in the neck too? Justin, what was that?
Nah, I
That
just
was
saw
was
him
it, it was
like
just
right
the
through
eye,
the
right?
eye.
Okay, I thought they had a double point. I wasn't sure. Okay, I thought they
Oh
stuck
wait,
him in the neck a
maybe
little
they
bit
did.
too,
I
right?
think maybe
Because remember they
maybe
were
they
like
did.
this, and he was like, oh,
I think they did the eye, and then at one point he was like sitting up or standing up, and
yeah,
then
and they
a nice little
stabbed him, right?
spear to the throat.
So yeah, so they got him good. They got him good. And I just have to say this. I have to bring it back to Justice said about the scream. I'm not gonna like lessen the scream. That sound that they did for the scream, I've never heard that sound before in my life.
Yeah, that's great.
That was a creepy, creepy cry. And I'm like, wow. And there was some thought going into that sound because when you hear that cry, wow.
So
Wow.
you ever seen that movie? You've seen Fifth Element with
Yeah.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Classic, y'all. Come on.
Right.
If you haven't seen
Yeah.
Fifth Element,
Of course.
you gotta watch that movie. It's great.
Yeah.
The blue alien lady that was singing in the
Right.
end of the Fifth Element.
Right.
I remember watching like a behind the scenes thing, and they used sounds that no human vocal cords could make because it's an alien.
Right.
So she can't.
Right.
She's not definitely going to be sounding like us. She's
Right.
going to have
No.
abilities that we don't have. So again, the way Christopher Nolan and other directors that are like, you know, as sharp and as creative as him would probably do things is they're going to give you something in a certain situation where it's like we can't either A, we can't
Excuse
make
me.
that sound, or B, it's just something that we're never really going to hear, you know, by our own ears. So the fact that this thing sounds like that, because if it sounded like a person screaming, you'd be like, well, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
No,
It's gotta
right.
be, it's gotta be different. It's a completely different creature. You feel me?
Right.
The other crazy horrific scene that I loved how the oh my god, let's talk about this.
Oh yeah,
That I
let's get into
loved
that.
the direction of was Xerxes. And so when they get just for y'all, you know what I'm saying, when they get to this one island and they're like fucking hella hungry, they're starving, and they're trying to figure things out, and they see this like, you know, house up on this hill. And right now, Odysseus is like, hey, yo, I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna check some shit out, maybe try to catch this deer or whatever like that. You know what I mean? The other dudes go up to this house, and the hold on, I wrote her name down. What's this chick's
the name?
name?
I got it right here. I love
Samantha
her.
Martin.
Yes, Samantha Martin.
So
Yes.
when I first saw her, I was like, oh shit, she was a precog in Minority Report.
Exactly. That's what became. I became a fan with her from Minority Report. Exactly. But
that's where I know her from. She was Agatha in Minority Report.
Yeah,
she was on the precogs. So it's kind of funny because like for a brief second, in the Minority Report, in the end, when they're like just in that random house in some random island or some shit, I was like, oh shit, that's where she lives. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Anyway, that's where she wound up, right? So anyways, besides that, so dudes go up to the house and she's just real creepy. You know what I'm saying? There's like an eerie way about her. Yeah. And so she's like, all right, you know, come inside. You guys are hungry. All right, I got some food for you. Take off your armor and your weapons. And you're thinking, all right, you know, I guess you probably don't want that shit in the house, you know me or whatever. And one thing leads to another. In this scene, it just builds up with the score. My God. What's the guy's name? Ludwig Göransson or something like that?
Oh yeah, Ludwig Göransson. Yeah, that's my dog,
this
dude.
That cat. Ryan Coogler's right-hand composer. And this dude is friggin' up. For me, he's getting up there with like your John Williams, your Hans Zimmers.
Oh yeah.
The Michael Giacchinos. This guy is putting in work. But anyways, so the scene starts to unfold gradually. You see these dudes eating, and they're just like very happy. So every scene in a movie where someone ain't eating for a while, it's the same shit. And then it starts to turn. It starts to turn like sinister and shit. And she's like walking around him. And then next thing you know, as they're eating, it's just getting like real close up on their mouths and the food and all this sort of stuff. And you're seeing them eat the meat and whatnot. And then she starts like molding them into pigs. And there's practical effects. There's some camera trickery. There's probably a minor amount of CGI. But I'm gonna tell you like this. Any of y'all out there who love your creature effects and your shit like that, you know American Werewolf in London. And that's one of the most famous movies for some creature effects. This shit was like American Werewolf in London level creature effects. I'm talking about John Carpenter, The Thing level creature effect type shit when she's like molding them into pigs. And it was so seamless. Again, we're talking about a director who wants everything in camera as much as possible, who wants everything as grounded as much as possible. And this shit looked like reality. So like that shit was it was creepy.
That was like unnerving, bro. Like
it was creepy.
Yeah, and then I didn't know, man, it was crazy.
And then when Odysseus is like down in the meadow or whatever like this, and he shoots the deer, right? Because there's like animals like as they're walking up there. I'm not sure what the
yeah. Oh, I know that. Those are people.
Oh shit. Oh, so maybe
those are people.
If the troops because in the end, I'm getting ahead of myself. So
Yeah.
bottom line is Odysseus shoots a deer. He sees it's a person. He's like, oh shit. He goes up there, probably knows what's going down. He basically talks her in to bringing them back as his men, right? And when
Mm-hmm.
she does, she says, they're pigs. This is who they are. They're filthy. They're just like, they're hungry for whatever. And then
Right.
as she puts them back into their human forms, she says, go back into your disguises. So she's saying, this is what your men really are. Now go back into your disguises, and she
Mm,
does her little, claymation situation, right? So
yeah.
then if their disguises was humans and these are really pigs, then would the tiger or the lion or whatever, would those be people of honor that were
I,
like that she turned into
no,
the
I
animals?
think
Like,
they came into their, I guess, being I guess similar to those creatures, like someone coming as a lion, coming in probably a brute, taking things, pushing her aside, just eating her food, maybe just doing stuff like that, like a lion would. He just takes over. So maybe that's the case because, like you said, when Odysseus actually kills that deer for food because his boys is up in the house and whatnot, talking to this woman, to Cersei, he sees like the person turns into like a person. It's like he's dead. He's like, oh shit. So he knew. Now it's funny. Let me roll that back just for real quick. When he got to the island, right? I don't think he knew what was happening. Once he hit the deal, like I just mentioned, he figured it out. But what took me, and I think that maybe it was just me because I wasn't sure of the story. When after she turned those guys into pigs and he came in, the way that he hustled himself in, where he was like, "Yeah, I think I'm here alone." She's like, "You're here alone?" He's like, "Yeah." So I felt like, was it the island taking over them? At first that's what I thought. It kind of leaned me into that because the way he was answering Cersei, because Cersei was asking questions, and she was like confirming some of the things that she was saying to him, like, "Hey, are you here by yourself?" "Yes, I am." "Yeah, it was just me," and all this stuff. And he comes in, he goes, "Oh, wow, you got a lot of pigs." She's like, "Yeah, pick one of the pigs, and you can eat whatever you want. Just pick a pig, and you can slaughter it. In fact, you know what? Here's a knife. Won't you
yeah,
go and do it yourself?"
yeah,
I'm like, damn. And he got the knife. So I'm thinking, like, yo, is the island like turning him into that? Like he's forgetting or whatnot? But I think, like you said, Justin, he kind of knew already. He was just hustling the whole moment. You know what I mean? He was just kind of like shaping it. He was like, nah, you know what? I don't want that. And I think that's when
yeah. I
he
think
sat down with her.
Yeah, I think he knew something was going on, and something was going on up at that house when he saw that the deer that he shot was a person. So I think
Yeah.
he was going in there, and it's kind of like a negotiation type thing. Like I think he
Right,
was just
right,
like
right, right.
holding his cards, she was holding her cards, and he was just calling her on her. She was trying to call him on his bluff, and she was
Hmm.
trying to call he was trying to call her on her bluff
And I
and
wonder,
whatnot. And
what?
then
So I
that's when
cut
it
you off,
came
but I
out.
was wondering too, man. I wonder if he was familiar with that type of creature, like Cersei, because he came in knowing that he came in very soft, unthreatening,
Hmm.
just saying yes. I'm by myself. I'm not doing anything. He was talking soft, like he was like working it. Like he knew I gotta be easy with this bitch for real.
Yeah.
I gotta call her that, bro, because she is that. Trust me. When you see her, you're like, damn, bitch, crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, she all by herself too. But yeah, when he came real subtle. So when you see the movie, guys, look at how Matt Damon came into the house. He was like, I am not threatening. You know what I mean? It's just me. You know what I mean? But like you say, yeah. And then I think before he came in, when he saw the pigs there, there was no one on the island. Like his boys are like, come on, you're gonna hear those cats from like 2 miles away. Those cats are hungry and they're loud. He go
Mhm.
up there, he's like, yo, where my boys at? And I see pigs. He's like, oh damn. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, that scene, that
Oh
whole
damn.
that whole
Oh,
portion was like just
like they're
so
shaping up
well
their head
crafted. I
and
loved
whatnot,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Like the way they did it was
Mhm.
magnificent, bro. Because I didn't know what
Yeah,
they
it
were
was
doing.
dope.
It was creepy at first. It was like a horror movie. Like all of a sudden they start gorging and gorging, and they couldn't stop. And
Yeah.
at first there was like this. It was like a white. What was it? A white fat or something? Justin, something come from their mouth. It was like they
Yeah,
all had
like
this white
yeah. I
thing,
think it was
right?
like yeah, it was like the
What was
meat that
it?
they were eating in there. It was like whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah.
vegetables were and whatever like this, and then the meat was like long and stringy,
Yeah,
and
and it
they're
was like
just
this
like
long white pin,
taking it in.
and it just like, and it couldn't stop. So
Yeah.
I was like, and then she came
And that's
around
what
doing
and
all
that's what
this.
and again, that's what I loved most
Oof.
about it is just the way that it built over that time, and then she gets in there and you're kind
Right.
of like figuring things out like, "Oh shit, it's about to get real."
But so you know what
Yeah,
too?
that
I
shit was dope.
tell you this too, Justin. Samantha Morton's like performance in that one little scene. I think that although she's been around for a long time in Hollywood making films, I think people have just been reminded how bad she was. Because when she was in Minority Report, she took over that. I mean, yes, it was Tom
Yeah.
Cruise doing this thing, it was exciting, but she was the heart. Like she just has that quality. And I think that after that movie, years later, she's been in some things, but some people forgot. But I think this movie right now, she's that one that people are going to say, you need to like do something with that. Nominate her for something, whatever, because she was the best. Like when it comes down to someone outside of Odysseus' circle,
Mhm.
even in his travels, anyone you remember her. Even more than what she did, you remember her because when she turned everyone back and she was like, yeah, let them go. You and I need to talk. And then she
Yeah.
starts talking to him, right? And starts telling him what she said again. Justin, I remember you mentioned. She said something
She
about
said something
like,
about like, well, she was basically telling him like, "Hey, here's one thing you got to do to like get
oh,
home.
right,
Here's a
right,
place you have to go."
right, right,
Basically saying like, "Yo, man, not everybody can come. You
right.
can go, but they're kind of already dead. So
Yeah, yeah, that's
just
right.
know that."
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. But that
Do you
that scene when
think?
she said that was crazy.
I think like legitimately like when you're thinking about there's so many people in this movie.
Yeah.
Um, I could see her getting nominated.
Yeah.
Obviously, would have to be for like best supporting actress or some shit.
Yeah, I
Because
could see it nominated, right?
you'd have to consider Anne Hathaway the lead actress in this movie. You know what I'm
Yeah, but
saying?
you know what? Samantha
That's
to me,
Penelope. But
yeah,
Samantha, I think in the same way that they nominated Christian Bale for best supporting in The Fighter,
right.
because I can't remember who he would have been up against if he was best actor that year. I
Mm,
can't remember who he would have been up against, but they said like, "Hey, let's rock with best supporting. Pretty sure you're gonna be able to get this." And then history's been made. He got it. You feel? You
right,
feel what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Um, but in this,
What?
as best supporting, it makes perfect sense because again, you have Charlize Theron, which she was great as Calypso, right? You have
Right, right.
Zendaya as what was Zendaya? She was like I can't
She
remember her name.
was, I forget her
Started
name,
with
but
the A
yeah,
though. She
I
was
remember.
great.
Right?
But when if we're talking about Zendaya, if we're talking about Calypso, if we're talking about you know, uh Xerxes and all that sort of stuff, she that moment, she steals the show. She's freaking like phenomenal and like
Yeah, she
gives you everything
is.
in that moment. You know what I mean? And so like I
Yeah,
feel like
she
she would
is.
have to be the one to be nominated. So I'm gonna say it right here and right now, I think she's gonna get nominated for best supporting. That's what I'm saying it. I think she's gonna get nominated. Come back.
I
You'll
no,
see.
I no, I think you're right, bro. I think you're right. You know what? I think she's gonna fall into the same situation that Viola Davis fell into. That made her a star. That one little scene from God, what's the movie's name again? Oh
The help?
shoot. No,
Was
no,
it the
before
help?
that. No, 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 before that it was about priests and sexually abusing the kids and everything. And it was a movie. That's what made her a star, is that one scene. She's been around for a while, but
Oh,
that one movie with
was
that
it
7-minute scene of her and God, what was it again? Hold on.
was it Spotlight?
Uh
I don't know if she was in that
no,
one. What that
no,
one was
but
about.
she oh my god. It's I'm looking at her stuff and then she got so many nominations, I forget. I'm trying to figure out. But the movie that she was in, guys are out there. If anyone's listening, please help me out. What movie is that? It escapes me. But the movie that made Viola Davis a star was that movie I'm trying to get to. And from there, people's like, yo, who is that? Because she stuck out so well. I think Samantha Morton is on her way to that. And
Oh yeah,
everyone
for
thought,
sure.
because, so I always liked her as an actor and things that she's done. If I came across for her, I'm like, oh yeah, Minority Report, yeah, yeah. But you're right. You
Yeah,
know
she was
what?
dope.
I'm with you, bro. All right. So Justin said he called it. So anyone out there, Justin called it this year.
Let's
Oscar
go.
nomination, best supporting Samantha Morton for Odyssey. I think yes, 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 yes. You know who was like that too? Kate Blanchett for what was it? The Talented Mr. Ripley. When I first
Yeah.
saw it, The Talented Mr. Ripley, I didn't know who Kate Blanchett was. But that little scene that she had, those little moments, and that was it. I was like, wow, who is she? She's really standing out. Next thing you know,
Kate Blanchett.
Blanchett.
I love I love me some Kate Blanchett. She's great.
That's my girl, boy. Yeah, don't fuck around and
Yo,
play Kate.
what about Robert Pattinson?
Yo, all right. So, all right, let's get into some characters, right?
Let
Just
me
sorry, let's
hear
get
what
into
your
the
thoughts are.
character.
Let me hear what your thoughts are on Robert Pattinson. My God.
Robert, okay, first of all, number one, I'm a little biased, but I'm a big Robert Pattinson fan. I think he just has it, man. Anything you need him to do, he could just form himself into it. He got the look, he got the gumption, he got the acting prowess, he got everything going for him. And when he was in this movie, he just turned on the slime, bro. I think he just put
Mm.
the bucket over him and he was just slimy. I mean, the guy was like, he was that guy that you said, yo, I cannot leave him with anybody I know because it's not going to work out well. I'm gonna be killing that cat. So he played his role. Anne Hathaway's role, just to get her real quick. I know we still wasn't present, but I just want to kind of lean on her real quick. I liked her performance. I did. I've seen her in better performances, but I did like her performance in this one. It was cool. I still think Samantha Morton outshines her. That's me. I think she was pretty much like she was doing what she has to do. She was this woman with all this pain. She had those moments where I'm like, whoa, I was like, my eyes got a little watery. When she said she
Mhm.
want her husband back. And that hits me because I'm married, just as married too. So, just little things in there that kind of hit those beats. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that. I feel that. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Yeah.
so I love Anne Hathaway to death. I love her. I think she's
Yes.
great.
Yeah, me too.
Um, when the funny thing is like if you look at this is for me, if
Mhm.
you look at some actors, they're super dope. They can do just about anything, but a lot of actors still have their swag, right? So if you look at Anne Hathaway in Interstellar, you look at some of the scenes that she said, some of the things that she did with Christopher Nolan in um, Dark Knight Rises, right?
Right.
And then you look in this, you can be like, yeah, I can see some of those mannerisms very similar. You know what I'm saying? She has her swag to it. But where I thought that she definitely like was able to elevate just because of the character she was playing and the situation that was going on was off of Robert Pattinson when he was trying to like, woo her toward, a certain portion of the film when he's like,
Oh,
look,
doubt.
Odysseus been gone for this long. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
like
yeah.
take anything over. I'm just trying to be, your right hand dude. I want you to be able to do all these things, and I want your son to be able to rock with it too. I just want
Right.
to make sure that you have everything that you need, and like the way that she's like receiving that, and then in the
Mm-hmm.
end, when she thinks, oh shit, maybe Odysseus really isn't coming back. All right, fuck this. Then here's what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? And she
Right,
does a
right,
whole
right.
arrow thing, which we're gonna talk about that in a minute. The ending. I love the ending, right? So
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but then when she realizes this is my man, this is my boo thing, spent all this time.
Yep.
Damn, I've been holding it down all these years, right?
Yep.
The inflections of her face,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I give you that. I give
The
you that.
you could see it in her eyes, the watering in her eye, like everything that her facial expressions and her body language showcased in that moment. Like
Yeah. I
I felt like she just saw her man come back and did not think she was ever going to see her man come back. So I
you're right.
believed it. She was great.
When did you think that she knew that was her man? Because there was a moment I thought that she knew. Maybe she had a good idea and she knew. I said, maybe I think she was right then. I wasn't sure. What do you
I
think?
feel like it's like I feel like she knew or I feel like she felt like that was Odysseus or could have been Odysseus as she was like talking to him with
Right.
the hood up, right?
Right.
There's something probably in her heart and in her bones where she's like, I wish this was my man. I wish he would just take off that goddamn hood and show them who you are. You know what I'm saying? T'Challa swag, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't until he was about to string that bow and he did the boom thing on the bow. I
Oh,
got chills.
yeah, yeah.
I got
Me
chills just
too.
thinking about it right
Me
now.
too.
And when I was in the theater, I was like, when I was in the theater, I got a lump in my throat when he did that bong thing with the bow.
Yeah, me too.
And
Me too.
she did too. And I
She
think it
did.
was like at that moment. And again, let me go all the way back to the very beginning when they showcase him doing that. That's like his thing. It's like
Right.
his signature bong. And then they asked him some other time later in the movie, hey, why do you always do that? Why are you always giving the animals a heads up that, hey, I'm out here, I'm about to fucking kill you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Right, right.
And he's like, it's not fair unless I do that. That's his swag,
Right.
right? That's his
Yeah. He
principle.
wants to earn it.
So
Hmm.
when he does that and it comes all the way back full circle as Chris Nolan movies tend to do, full
Yeah.
circle, You know what I'm saying? His face is shrouded in shadows and whatnot, you know, in the hood. He's doing that. She set up the perfect little thing. Nobody in there can do it. It's like the fucking sword in the stone. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah,
all of a sudden
yeah.
he picks it up, strings that bow, boom, and there you go. And she's like, oh,
Yes.
pussy wet for days. You know what I'm saying? She's like, my man is back. You know what I'm
She was
saying?
like,
So
"Bow, let's
like
roll."
that's what she,
Exactly.
yeah, that's what she knew. That's what she
Yeah,
knew.
yeah, no doubt,
He's
no
like,
doubt.
and
But you know what?
he's over there thinking, I still got it.
But I love that whole concept about how they did the bow. My wife said too. She was
Oh, that
like,
was
"I
great.
love that whole. This the whole concept of the bow, and about what it meant, and you know what it meant to him, and what it meant to everything. Like his personality, everything was in that bow, and the little thing too. What I loved about it was the way he what they call it, stringing the bow, I guess, or whatever, or
Mhm.
bowing it, I guess, what would they call it? I forget the actual term, but the way he did it, I love his how he contoured his body. Like to me,
Yeah.
that's style. Like I like style, and that to me is like the way he contorted was when he feels it out first, and he pulls, and next thing you know, as he pulls it, he kind of goes down like this, like comes in, and he closes his eyes, feels it, like
Yep.
bang. Like the whole moment was just perfection. I was like, that's the shit. Like that right there, you know, he thought about that. Like that was beautiful because it all, like you said, at the end, it all kind of, you can say, kind of builds up to this
Mhm.
moment where you feel because you see him contort himself, fill it out, and then you see him like put his head away. He doesn't look at it, he just feels it and puts his whole weight on it, and it just bang, and it comes up. You
Yeah.
know, bang. I mean, the whole thing was beautiful. Yes, yes, it was. And so yes, that thing at the end with him coming out. Yes, that was big. But you know what? To answer you, to what I was talking about, when just to go back to when he was speaking to his wife when she didn't know it was him because he had the cloak
Mhm.
on. I thought that she knew it was him when he said yes. When he said, when he already explained, I was part of your husband's crew, like his army,
Mhm.
when they went for, when they trashed, or they sacked Troy. I was there. She's like, okay, cool, all right. But he also gave me this little, I guess, a brooch of some
Oh yeah.
sort that
Yeah.
she gave to him before he left. He said, I got the brooch. I say, I still got the brooch. It feels nice. I think right then, and she said, he would never give anyone that brooch. Like that would go with him. I don't think he ever, you know what I mean? That's why I thought, because when you look at her, when he said that, she looked and you saw her like start to tear. I understand
Yeah.
because the brooch is her husband, but I think that's what she knew because she started looking at him,
Yeah. And it's
you know,
also
staring like,
because yeah, again, that was probably another thing that was like shaking her a little bit because she also was like, I think she said something to the effect of like, did he wear it or whatever? And he's like, he never took it off. So he's talking about
see?
this dude. He's talking about himself in the past tense. He
Right.
says he never took it off. Here it is now. So she's like, I, I guess I'm gonna pick one of these MFers. You know what I'm saying? We'll see.
Exactly.
But it was so
No,
good, dude. So good.
no,
I loved how
no.
so anyways, I kind of got off topic in a sense,
Yeah, yeah, no
but
problem.
with Robert Pattinson, yes, the way he played this slimy dude and the way that he was trying to get at her, the way he was disrespecting Tom Holland
Yeah,
and all that sort of stuff, and just the way that he came and the way Odysseus wasn't showing himself as if he wasn't ready to be seen, as if he
yeah,
wasn't ready to take the stand in a sense, right? Um, when all is revealed, like you need Robert Pattinson's character to be that way. You need him to be able to sell that, right? So then
right.
that way, when Odysseus finally shows himself, and then when Corey Hawkins was a dick too, and that's Robert Pattinson's right hand man, and
Corey
after he
was
shoots the,
Corey played that
Corey
role.
was a dick,
Corey
man. Corey was
he
a
played that
dick.
role.
I was
He
so
killed
happy
it.
Dr. Dre was in this movie, but
That's what I thought so too.
you know what I'm
I
saying,
said, oh, they go Dre.
right? But I loved how like when because you're like I fucking hate these dudes, right? So I
Yeah.
just love how he got that bow like right in the neck, you know what I'm saying? So that shit was like hella fly. But like yeah, again,
Yeah.
everything building up to that in this like climax in this one room. It's like fucking
Yeah.
you're in the octagon with
It's,
Odysseus. Let's see
you
what
know what?
happens.
Just to bring it up, Justin, too. When I think about it, that's how they did it. Like that's just odd. Like that's how they went down. Like you know, if the queen has a king that's off to war and you haven't seen it for a while, and they say, okay, you're gonna have to eventually wed in due time. Brothers just come in a room, like just
Well, the
roll
thing
up. and just
Well, I think
sit
the thing is
there
like
like for a while. It's just kind of,
I think for most of at least most of the times when I've seen a movie where there's some ish where the king or the general or whoever it is goes
yeah.
off to war, we never really see what's going on back at the crib spot.
I never really seen
So,
that before, in other
like
movies.
think about that for a second. Like if the king and his merry men bounce to war, who's guarding the castle?
Yeah.
There's gonna be dudes that come by talking about yo, let me holler. That's why they weren't able to do anything because Tom Holland, Temecula, I think is his name, playing
Yeah.
his son, he was there like, hey, get the fuck away from my mama. What you doing? You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
when he left, and Robert Pattinson's character was like, I this dude probably ain't gonna come back. He thought he could just run up in there, get with Mia Goth, then get with Anne Hathaway and do the whole damn thing. And
Yeah.
then when Temecula comes back, when Tom Holland comes back, he's like, oh shit, cock blocked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that's true. That's true. That's true.
so
But
that
that
must
scene
be
you're
how it
talking,
went down.
but you know what? You're talking about a scene that caught me a little off guard too. And I was like, oh, okay, I could see he's flexing. Because think about it, you were saying like everyone knows he was there talking to Anne Hathaway, right? It was a moment he slipped up in there and he started to kind of like listen, you know what? I'm the one for you. Don't worry about it. Your boy comes back. He's the king. I just want to be with you, girl. You could be the queen,
Yep.
whatever. You know what I mean? I just want to be with
Yep.
you. I'll take care of him. All that. Boy, it was hustling. Boy, it was sweet talking. But then I thought about it, I said, yo, hold up. Why are other guys able to just roll up to her and start talking
That's
to her
true.
face to face? But they did say because he was smashing the other chick that was like her right hand, like
Oh
I
yeah,
guess her servant
she
or
got him
whatever,
up
right?
in there, yeah.
But then Anne Hathaway had to be like, yo, how you get up in this bitch? But I think he was flexing. He's like, see, I can get up all of me. You know what I mean? If I can get up with you and stuff, that means I'm supposed to be with you. He was dropping bars as much as he
Yeah.
could, to her,
Spitting.
you know what I mean? And she was kind of like, okay, but she was kind of like, you know what? All right, you got this far, okay, whatever. All right, so real quick though, before I forget, okay, as much as we love Odyssey, right? It's not perfect, but it's going to be a top 10, top 15 movie of all time. Definitely, it's no doubt. One thing I do have to say about Odyssey is Mr. Tom Holland. And I think Mr. Tom Holland, as good as he is in other movies, especially with Spider-Man, the whole thing we all already know he does. This movie here, I think, in a way, nothing bad. It just takes time. That it's kind of showcased that those heavyweights around him exposed him a little bit. Now, I don't know if it's more to do with the script where they asked for him to do. He did have a moment where he put his chest out and he was like, okay, he's showing up. Okay. But realistically, when he started to kind of say, "Hey, listen, Ma, I'm going to take care of you. Ma, I'm the king. I got this." You know what I mean? And he rose up to like Patterson and those guys. I know they chump and whatnot. It's like it's like a captain from a football team that's mushing the water boy. That's what it looked like. I understand that was the whole point of it. You get here, boy. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But at the same time, you want to kind of everyone there you saw when they were in front of that screen, they took control. Like you were there. I don't know, man. What do you think? I know we asked about, of course, people like Patterson, those guys, even Crawford, all those guys. When they're on the screen, they take it, they eat it up a little bit. Tom came on the screen. It looked like he was just overpowered. Like, yeah, you just don't have the status just yet. You know what I mean?
So
Like, it looked like he was
yeah,
like, a little too big for him. You know what I mean? So what do you think?
yeah.
Do you think it was the character? Or you think it was pretty much him?
I'm gonna go with character. I think, from my opinion, I think Tom Holland is great, and I
Right.
think that oddly enough, kind of like a little bit opposite. Well, for sure, opposite of what you're saying is like not only do I think that for the character and for what he was given to do, and how
Mm,
Chris probably obviously wanted him to play this character, I
mm,
think he rode that line right in the middle of like, yeah, I'm a tough guy. I'm gonna say it with my chest, but I'm also over here, and it has a little bit of that arc kind of throughout the film, right?
mm,
Also, at the same time, Tom Holland always had an amazing physique, but he's also always had a baby face. And in this
mm.
movie, I feel like is the most grown that he's looked. He's still, very boyish looking, if you
Yeah,
will,
yeah, yeah.
right? But still had a little bit more like gravitas to his features in this film. You see what I'm saying? And then also at the same time, his correct me if I'm wrong, like his dad's been gone pretty much his entire life. You know
Right.
what I'm
He did.
saying?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
like he don't really know. He's been training, how to fight and all that sort of stuff, but he
Yeah.
doesn't have like his dad there to make him like his own man fully and completely just yet.
Mm,
He's just
yeah.
been going around trying to find his dad, hearing stories and ish like this. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And so I feel like the way that that character was, the things that he had to do, I feel like he wasn't supposed to be um toe to toe with who Robert Pattinson was or who
right.
Corey Hawkins' character was or
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
else
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
feel like he was
Yeah.
supposed to be kind of like a layer below. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Because of
yeah.
his
I think
position.
so.
So
And you like to
yeah,
get
so I
the
feel
baby
like
face,
that.
like you said. Yeah.
Yeah, I also feel like that the same exact way about Elliot Page playing
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
Sinos, I think, or Sinan
It's
was
this.
her name, or his name in the movie.
Yeah. Sinon. Sinon. Yeah.
Yeah, because if I'm not
Sinon.
mistaken, when uh when they were kids, I think isn't that Robert Pattinson's character's brother, I believe, or they're either friends or brothers or something.
Yeah. The younger one. I think it was a younger
Yeah,
one.
so
Yeah. It's a
when
younger one.
so
Yeah.
when so when Robert Pattinson's character was supposed to go off to war,
Right.
they traded because he wanted to stay back and probably get with mom or whatever the situation was, right? At that time, he didn't want to go off to war because he's a little bit of a coward, a little bit of a punk. So
right.
he gives a little stick or whatever like that to Elliot Page's character, and then but if you look at Elliot Page, this person doesn't look like the same stature as all of these other soldiers. And again, I think
Yeah.
that's the point. I think that's like the Steve Rogers aspect of it. Whereas
Mm,
this person has the heart to go to war and to do the right thing, but they're not necessarily made to go to war and yet do the right thing. However,
mm,
this person was given, in this day and age, what you would consider the honor of
yeah.
sacrificing themselves without knowing it though, of course, in this
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
but
But this. Yeah.
sacrificing themselves because without Sinon's sacrifice and being there to say, hey, here's this gift, and then getting killed,
Mm-hmm.
the horse doesn't get into Troy.
That's true.
You know what
That's
I'm
true.
saying?
That's true. That's
So
true.
so I
I
feel so
mean,
again, I make that point just to say that like I think that one of the great things about certain directors and Chris Nolan being like that and this movie showcasing that in my eyes is that some actors might not necessarily be coached to be level or toe to toe with certain people in the film. And some actors might not even be toe to toe or certain level. I'm not going to say Tom Holland is on a Robert Pattinson level. I'm not going to say that.
right, right, right.
He's great. He's great,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen enough from him to say that he's on Robert Pattinson's level. Like,
Yeah.
and if all of y'all out there, if you have not watched movies outside of Twilight and the Batman, which Robert Pattinson is dope in Batman, but if you
yeah.
haven't watched movies outside of Twilight and the Batman,
Oh,
then you have not seen
that's
the full scope of what Robert Pattinson can do. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So Tom
Yeah.
Holland is great. He's great, but you know what I'm saying? And I thought he
well,
was dope in this, but yeah,
I
I don't
think
think
I
he was
think
supposed
I
to
think
be
it
toe
was
to
cool. I
toe.
think this is the most grown up movie I think Tom Holland has been in. When you think about it,
100%.
everything else he's been
100%.
like, of course, the lead or whatever, or his little light or whatever it is. Even that little horror movie he had, like I think it was on Netflix about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and it had like this kind of like serious edge to it, but it was still really meant for the younger demographic. This one, you had a lot of experience around him. You had a lot of grown up shit going on, and I guess, like you said, I'm quite sure Christopher saw that and said, "I need you to look like a doe. I need you to look like someone who can just be flicked and then pushed over because your father wasn't there. You've been learning to fight and stuff like that, but you haven't really been in anything. Well, how many squabbles you really been in? You know what I mean? I mean, you're the prince. I mean, they're not gonna let anyone touch you. So, and then these guys we're warriors. So I guess you're right. I mean, I'm quite sure he said, listen, you need to look like a real punk. And you trying to put it in your chest, but you don't have what it takes. And he saw that too when he was trying to fight the guy that was actually breaking the floor and throwing all of
Yeah.
the weapons down so everybody can like fight back Odysseus. Odysseus. And I tell you, his name is killing me.
Yeah.
But when he was there trying to fight, and this guy was like hitting the floor and throwing the weapons down, this turncoat,
Yeah.
he was all
And
over the place. He was fumbling everywhere.
and that's another thing that I want to bring up too is I like it when a director will make choices for the actors or the characters that fit in the world and make sense in the universe, right?
Yeah.
So, like we say, if we got like real warriors over here, or we got people that are just like shady and usually like, bogart their way through the situation, like what Robert Pattinson's character was doing, Corey Hawkins, you know what I'm saying, kicking dogs when they down, things like this,
Gee,
despicable
that,
type
that was
people.
that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That was foul.
Right? So when you have people like that, and you have someone who's never really met their father in a true sense and has been like taught and molded and shaped truly into being a warrior, then you can't have that person. Like it doesn't really make sense. It kind of feels forced if that person all of a sudden is like going to start kicking ass and taking names. So you
Right.
can't do
I
that.
give that. Yeah. Right.
So
Right.
this person has to look like they're struggling just a little bit. Like it was funny
Mm.
to me, a little off topic, but it was funny to me when people saw the Batman, the Matt Reeves Batman, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Duh, why is Batman not that smart? Motherfucker is year 2. He's still learning. God damn it! Like, did you ever read
Exactly.
year 1? Are you fucking kidding me? He's not the Batman of old, motherfucker. Like, what the
I
hell?"
know. I'm the same way.
So
I'm about the same way.
yeah,
Same
it's
way.
like
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so in certain
I'm like,
situations, like, you know what I'm saying? When you have a character that's like brand new to the game, let them get their feet wet. Let them get beat up a little bit. Let them try to squabble, but then let them get defeated,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then let
Yeah.
them stick their chest out and show that voice. In the end, when he was like, "That's enough." Like, knock that shit off, y'all. And like when he let him know what's up. You know what I mean? But still, his bravery was there. So yeah, so I thought that he was dope. I thought that everything that Tom Holland did in this movie was great. And I said in my review that I was like so happy that one, I thought he came off great in the movie as far as like everything that Chris wanted him to do. Clearly, Chris is a great director, so he's gonna make sure that he's getting awesome
Of
performances out of
course.
all of his people, right? That's that's
Of
that's
course.
evident. You see what I'm saying? But
Right.
I'm so
Right.
happy that this movie is going to do amazing. I think this movie is going to do 1 billion. I think that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
tell you why, but I think this movie's going to do great, and so I'm so happy that Tom Holland is able to have a part in this because, like we said, all of his other movies outside of Marvel have been shit. They haven't
Yeah,
done
that's
anything,
true. Just to
whether
be
they're
just to
good or
be just to
bad.
be quite honest. Yeah.
Whether they're good or bad, that's a subjective situation. But on an objective situation, those movies have either failed at the box office
Yeah.
or nobody's watching them on streaming. So
He
I'm
needs
happy he's
this.
in this.
Yeah, he
I'm
needs
happy he's
this.
in this.
Something
Yeah.
outside of Marvel, absolutely. But I want to give a shout out first as we move forward to Rachel. Oh no, actually Rachel. What's that, Tamika? Yeah, well, Tamika's been following us on YouTube and everything else. She's been talking right now to us. And sorry, Tamika, because we're going back and forth and trying to kind of keep up with all of the people saying yes and talking to us. So I just want to give you a shout out. Thank you so much for supporting us. Keep at it. We appreciate you big time. You know what I mean? And yes, it was gross in some parts. And yes, and as Justin mentioned too, yeah, it is the character. I just wanted to know because sometimes you can see people in front of the screen and go, man, I don't know. I think something's getting exposed. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it makes sense because you see how his character is, like I said before, when he's trying to beat up the turncoat.
Oh, also,
So
speaking of when you're talking about like seeing like a certain character on the screen
yeah.
and do you believe him or not or whatever like that? How good did Matt Damon look in this movie? Like when he's washed up on the
Oh
beach,
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
damn, this man is putting in work.
He
And the
putting it
reason I'm
in,
saying that,
bro.
the reason I'm saying that is because I was just talking mad shit about Lobo like 2, 3 weeks ago, and motherfuckers was blowing me up in the comments talking
Oh
about,
yeah.
bro, you tripping, this, that, and that. No, I'm sorry. I love Jason Momoa, but fuck Jason Momoa and what he brought to the table for the character that he loves so much. Matt Damon has been quoted, he don't even like to work out. Matt Damon does not even like to
Right,
work out.
work out.
But when
Right.
you get someone like a Christopher Nolan and everybody else that was willing to go to these far off exotic locations. Disney, are you
Hmm.
paying attention? You could have gone to
Hmm.
Hawaii to film Moana, but you chose to do it on the volume. Idiots.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but the point is, like,
Yeah.
look at the work that he put in to make us believe this person who's been out on the high seas, who's been in
Mm.
battle, trapped in a freaking wooden horse for days on end, shitting and pissing on other people. And then when he takes off his cloak and he's fucking shredded, you believe it. Like, yeah, why wouldn't he be? It's not like
Yeah.
this man's
Yeah.
been eating Subway sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? He's
Exactly.
gonna look like
Exactly.
that.
And
So
you're
again,
right. You're right because you saw. I cut you off, but just to say this, when you saw his body, even afterwards, like later on, you see that he kind of lost weight because he
yeah.
wasn't really getting nourished. He's on high seas and whatnot. I mean, he's hardly eating anything. But when he was
Yeah.
fighting, he was ripped. He had mass. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm eating good. But when he started to go into those lands, you start seeing a difference. So yeah, you're right. He put in the work.
So again, when we talk about like, Tom Holland, maybe not feeling like he could go like toe to toe with Robert Pattinson, made
Right.
perfect sense for the character. When you look at Matt Damon, how he looked, his swag, all that sort of stuff, perfect sense for his character, the time, the position that they're in. These are the choices, the creative choices that Christopher Nolan makes. The sound of the Cyclops when he's screaming, creative choices. Another creative choice when they're on the boat and they have to go by the like what the mermaids or whatever it was like this. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, right.
They're
That
doing
was
the sounds
crazy.
and they're
Yeah, I
like put
seen
the
that. Yeah.
wax. The guys got to put the wax in their ears because
Right.
obviously they're going to get drawn to it. Out of all the movies that have ever talked about, the sounds of the sea and they're calling to you and they're going to jump ship and stuff like that, um, I'll give Ryan Coogler credit for Black Panther 2, which I didn't even really care for that movie, and just that's a whole nother topic. But the
Right.
way that the sirens were sounding from the mermaids and whatnot, and have people jumping off the ship, that was cool, a little cool element.
I did
But
like
in
that. Yeah.
this, but in this, I like how you didn't hear that shit, right? And only Odysseus, he's like, I need to hear that shit. Wrap me up to this freaking post right here, right? To this mass. And I want to
Right.
hear that. And you can see him in pain and in anguish from everything that he can hear, but nobody else can. One dude, couldn't take it and he hurried and jumped off the boat and shit.
Yeah, I
But
understand that. It's like he
that,
just couldn't take it. He's like, and he just jumped. I'm like,
you
bro,
know what I'm
you
saying? But that creative choice to not let us hear that. And again, the creative choice to not let us hear it because of the fact is like in certain situations in films, you are not going to make everyone happy. Like in
yeah.
Oppenheimer, we're all waiting in Oppenheimer to see this explosion, right? If he had just
Hmm.
shown a big ass explosion, you'd be like, all right, here today, gone tomorrow. We saw the explosion. You know what I'm saying? You can
Right.
look that shit
Right.
up on YouTube, right? But the way that it was filmed and all that sort of stuff. So, same thing here. So, the choices that are made from a character standpoint to certain elements in the movie to certain creature effects and things like that in the movie, like, oh, just fucking top notch. Just great.
Yeah, I
Love it.
think first of all, the creature effects that are in this movie, I know a lot of it was done practically. I know a lot of effects were done practically. He said that like I said, I didn't see the BTS on the Cyclops, how that was done practically and how he did it, but everything else you can see pretty much worked that way. Yeah, you're gonna have some CG here and there, but I think it's very minute. And if there is, I didn't see it. Like, let me tell you something. That's one credit I have to give to everyone on board with Odyssey. If there's any type of like any effect or a CG or whatever, everything looked pretty much grounded. Like you never seen anything and said, "Oh, you could just tell," and you just kind of move on, like you always see. This right here, this is one of those rare movies where everything you see, you believe. Everything that needs to be on screen looked like it was actually real, and a lot of it was. We know that, but sometimes you have to kind of throw some things in there. So that's what made you feel like, man, I really feel what these guys are going through. When they're on the sea and they're dusty and they smelly, they go on these islands and these things start popping up and they're trying to like survive. You feel it. And you feel the tension, especially. All right, let's talk about this since we don't just spoil it because we just talk about all this shit. Yo, those cats with the silver armor, yo, the giants, those to me, that was one of the creep. That to me was like scary. That to me was like, yo, there was no way out. It wasn't like you could just run in the water. It wasn't something that maybe Game of Thrones did, with the zombies. You couldn't go to the water. So you jump in the water, you good. You're in a boat, you're like, ha, gotcha. No, these cats is like, yo, we're gonna go as far. You're running in the water. It's not like you have a speedboat. You know what I mean? You hit that bad boy on you out. No, these cats had to bring up the oars, had to get it. All that time you're doing that shit, these motherfuckers are going, hiya, hiya. You know what I'm saying? They're on top of you, bro. And I'm like, yo, get away. People getting it from the back of when you see other ships getting it from these guys. These guys are destroying ships. Bro, they were destroying ships with their hands. So I'm like, yeah, that to me was scary because and like, yo, the water don't mean shit and you can't get away fast enough. So the whole idea of these giants, and I don't know how accurate it is in Odyssey, guys. Please, like I said, Justin, I didn't read the book, but whatever they did to make these guys feel the way they felt was enough for me. That to me was like scary. You know what I mean? Because these guys did not talk. Even when you hit them, you didn't hear anything. You didn't hear no or
Yeah,
nothing. These guys made no noise, but they were huge and they were after you.
yeah.
So that was great. Now let's get into this part too, like with the Odyssey. like the runtime. Now, did it feel like 3 hours? Well, a little less than 3 hours to be technically right, but did it feel like 3 hours? Because let me tell you something. I think I do this real quick in here because I'm always forgetting to say this about Christopher Nolan's movies. All of the YouTube pages that interviews that we had and reviews, and we talk about Nolan, this, that, and the other. There's one thing that people do not bring up about Nolan's like craft, and this is genius. Is that if you notice, I'm like, yo, he's just so good at this, man. I have not seen a director in my life anyway, has done this. And what I'm talking about is pace. He can make think about Oppenheimer. That's the clearest example. That's a 3 hour and change movie about science and one bomb going off at one time within 3 hours. Everything is a
That's true.
trial. Everything is about his life. Everything is about science itself and what makes a bomb and all that, and then the political part of it for Oppenheimer at that time. That's it. Right? No one's running. No one's getting shot. No one's jumping off the mountain. It's just cats in a room talking. But what he does is brilliant is the pace. He never lets you he never gives you a chance to get up. Like if you have to go to the bathroom, you're gonna miss out on some shit. Like he said,
Yeah.
that's a you problem. You know what I mean? There's no part in here. And then when you think about a movie, right? People say it's a 3 act play and all that stuff, which is really old school right now. When people still say that's like whatever. But when you think about his movies, there's not really one, two, third act. In a way there is, but then a lot of times it's kind of like a one. You start with a second act first, then you go to the third act, and then you go back to a first act. But the pace of it, he keeps that going by number one, quick cuts and a continuous music. It's almost like a music video. Look at
Mhm.
his film; they almost feel like a music video. They never stop. You have what's my man's name? The composer. Love that guy.
Oh, Ludwig Göransson.
Ludwig, right? So you got Ludwig working hard. When he knows he on the Christopher Nolan's film, he gonna be working. He gonna be making some music. He said, "Motherfucker, I need you to make 3 hours worth of continuous music because this is never going to stop." And when you look at Odyssey, it's the same way. And once it starts, music's on. And then next thing you know, things are moving. Cut, cut, cut. This is happening. This is happening. He's explaining everything to you. If you miss something, I'll get you back. Play some more stuff. But the pace of the movie with constant music, with with scenes that pretty much always gets that downtime moment for the audience. It always gives you a moment where someone's at a bar or someone's talking to their mom, and okay, this is a little down moment. That's cool. I like it. But if I have to go to the bathroom or I have to kind of turn to the kid to say something, this would be the point. This would be the time. With Nolan's movie, there's never a downtime. So I'm just saying, as a skillful filmmaker, and as a independent filmmaker myself, and all the millions of filmmakers out there, we make our films. Look at that craftsmanship. He knows. He said, "Listen, you're never going to want to get out of my film, no matter what it is. I'm going to keep it going." So anyway, it's beautiful what he does.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, to kind of piggyback off of that, I was just thinking like in a lot of filmmakers where they have like long movies and shit. You
Yeah.
can look at Tarantino, you can look at Scorsese, Christopher Nolan. They probably got the longest fucking movies out there right now,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
I feel like Tarantino, at least in his earlier day, he wasn't maybe so full of his own dialogue. Whereas like
Mhm.
some of his most recent movies, which I like his movies for sure. I'm a big
Yeah.
Tarantino
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
But sometimes a lot of his dialogue is self-indulgent and is just saying the same thing over and over, or just trying to figure out the most creative way to say the same thing a bunch of different ways. Or
Yeah.
his way of
Yeah.
making a character interesting is by having them say some weird philosophical such and such, where you could have just said, "Hey, yo, the butter's over there." You know what I'm saying?
Right. 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 Right.
Whereas with Nolan, all of the moments of dialogue build up to the moments of action so that the
Hmm.
moments of action actually hold weight and make you
Yes.
care about everything involved in that action. If it's the vehicle, oh shit, we got to watch out for the vehicle, make sure it works well.
Right.
If it's the character, oh shit, how's the character going to get out of this because we know they're dealing with such and such or whatever. If it's a ticking clock, you know what I'm saying? There's always things that he's building throughout in his stories that feed and fuel this other through line coming through that story. And again, if his movies are taking a long time, it's because all those things are needed again to get to this. And so when it comes to fruition, it's just that much better for it. So I love a long movie. I love to be in a
Me
universe
too.
that I
Yeah.
really enjoy with characters that I'm really like engaged in. And
Yeah.
so I don't care if this movie was 4 hours, I will be sitting there like holding my shit like, oh my
Oh,
God,
like
man.
this,
But
like, oh, I can't go, I can't go.
yeah, you know
Exactly.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
But
Yeah.
but like you're saying too, when it comes to Tarantino, a lot of guys, even Scorsese, a lot of directors who make these long films, right? With Nolan, to give him more props, to me, when it comes to dialogue, you said sometimes Tarantino can just get long-winded, and I get it. That's his thing, whatever. It's cool. And I still like his stuff. But with I think Nolan, him with his scientific mind and him just the way his rhythm is, every piece of dialogue is there for a reason. He's very efficient. There's no
Mhm.
wasted dialogue. That's what I love about his movies. There's never dialogue that's wasted, that is thrown. Everything means something. And then when you look at everything he's done, like the way it's edited, right? It's very fast. It's kind of like this person saying something, this person saying something. Then you show this, then this person saying something, and then you go to an external, maybe like a landscaping shot or whatever, and you keep on stepping. Like he just keeps it going. Like there's nothing here that I put in that you don't need for the story. Unlike other filmmakers, there are things that they kind of throw in there. If you don't catch it, it's okay. You can still enjoy the movie. Nah, yo, Nolan is like if you miss that, you miss something. Like I don't
Yeah.
put shit in just to put in shit in. You know what I mean? So if it has
Very
nothing to do with the
efficient.
story, then I'm not going to put it into it. And I think that's the difference between him. Even Spielberg does that. Even James Cameron does that. He's the only one that doesn't do that. He would this everything means something anyway. Yeah, he's very efficient, straight to the point. And yes, we love Nolan. You guys out there love Nolan. You got to figure guys like Nolan come like very rare, man. And we have directors out there, been around for years who are very, very rare to have their own style. And Nolan's one of those guys, man. This is why we're going crazy for Odyssey. This is why we have this spoiler review right now, because we just can't contain ourselves and say, oh, well, you know what? No spoilers. Bro, it's too much going on. Let's talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Now let
saying?
me
Yeah.
let me let me address this because I want to ask in a minute or so. I'm gonna try to figure out like I want to touch on some of the things that people are saying they had an issue with,
Oh,
right?
okay. Let's get
Because
into that.
obviously,
Let's get into
obviously,
that. Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah, yeah.
gushing about all the great things. But before I
Right.
get to that, I want to highlight the Lupita Nyong'o situation and
Mm-hmm.
John Leguizamo. First,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go on John Leguizamo, right? So I said in my review, the first time I can remember seeing John Leguizamo was in the movie The Pest, right? And then there was like after The Pest, when she was like just
You
bonkers
minutes.
crazy in that movie. Then it was like Spawn, where he played the clown. And
Right.
every now and
Right.
then you'll catch him in some serious role. But I'm again so happy that Nolan picked him of all people to play
Mm-hmm.
this blind dude
Right.
in this movie that is kind of like a mentor slash like right hand
Yeah.
individual slash gatekeeper in a sense to Odysseus's son and even Odysseus at a time. Do you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Right.
And so and being able to be there like throughout the entire film, I thought John Leguizamo killed it. And again, having not read the book, having not all the understanding of Greek culture and this and that, if
Right.
people are so upset about Lupita Nyong'o playing Helen of Troy, John Leguizamo's Hispanic, right?
Emmaus. Yeah. He's Puerto Rican.
You know what I'm saying?
Puerto
Puerto
Ricano,
Rican.
baby. Yeah. New Yorker. Yeah.
Okay,
Me. Yeah.
so was there Puerto Ricans in too? Like, because I didn't hear a lot of people giving him as much shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And what
Yeah.
about Corey
Mm-hmm.
Hawkins? Like,
Mm-hmm.
was black people like just chilling like that in the kingdom? Regardless, the point is I don't know.
Right.
But the point is, there's a lot of people in this movie where you could look at them and be like, were they necessarily historically accurate? The fact that Lupita Nyong'o was getting as much ish, you should just
Mm-hmm.
be able to trust in this filmmaker's creative inspiration. You know what I'm saying? If he
Well,
feels
well,
like she's gonna fit this role,
there were brothers in Greek time back then. So if people don't know the history, yes, there were black people from Africa coming in Greek for trade and things like that. There's other things too. I don't know all of the history, but I know that. So yeah. So if you want to get all crazy out there, like Justin's saying about Lupita Nyong'o and John Leguizamo and all that things, understand it's a big world out there. A lot of things happened at that time, and those who wrote the story just wrote it in their eyes, not really telling you actually how things were back then. So there's a lot of things going on in between. But anyway, I'm sorry. Continue, Justin. I just want to throw that in there.
yeah. So basically, the whole point is one. Yeah, Chris Nolan might be taking some creative liberties as far as
Sure.
legitimate race and whatnot, but we're going to the movie to be entertained. We're going to the movie to see something outside of our own world and our own realm. Is it really that big of an effing deal? Lupita Nyong'o's character is not even in the movie, but for what, like 3 or 4 minutes?
Probably,
5
yeah.
minutes, maybe? Out of
Tops,
a 2 hour
yeah.
and 50, out of a 2 hour and 52-minute film. She's in it for maybe like 5 minutes. That's like when you go to the dentist and they got to numb you up real quick. Compared to the whole time you're sitting there in the chair and they're doing everything, that needle's in your gum for like 10 seconds. It's nothing.
Yeah, it's
Pennies
true.
in the pond. Stop tripping. But she did great in her role. She did great in her role. But for the people out there that's crying about it, y'all need to get a life and stop tripping on that shit.
Yeah.
But
You know what? I'm there with Justin.
Her and John Leguizamo were great in what they had to do. But John Leguizamo was a standout for certain. So I just want to give him love, give him some shine for sure.
I love John Leguizamo. Always did, so definitely.
Now,
But before you move forward, Justin, to cut you off, but I want to just say one thing about Lupita. There were some things out there's some people out there. I don't give a fuck who you are out there, right? Hear this shit and put your ears right to the fucking speaker. Those people out there who said, "Hey, Lupita is playing someone who's supposed to be the most beautiful woman in the story." What are you saying? She's not beautiful? Like all you motherfuckers out there, that's your excuse. Oh, was she supposed to be the most beautiful? What are you saying? She's not beautiful because she's what? Black? She's not beautiful because she's not white? So whatever it is out there, fuck y'all, because beauty comes in all colors, shades, sizes, and creeds. So if you can't see that and you can't see how beautiful Lupita is, even if she's playing somebody who's supposed to be another race, but you need someone beautiful, she is beautiful as well. So I just want to say that if you say that, we know who you are, we know where you stand, and just say we see you. But I'm just saying. Go ahead, Justin. That's how I put it out there.
The last thing I'll say to piggyback off of that real quick before we move on is, at the end of the day, beauty is subjective. It's in the eye of the beholder, right?
Right.
But the funny thing is a lot of times when people, they'll say, oh, maybe someone's not beautiful enough to play this role. Like the same thing they were saying about Millie Alcott that was playing Supergirl.
Oh, yeah.
Was giving her shit
beautiful.
for the way her teeth looked or whatever. Like my teeth used to be busted as fuck. So I paid like freaking $10,000 for my grill to get fixed. Point is, it's all in the eye of the beholder. But as soon as you start entering the race card, now your argument for her beauty, subjective or not, now holds no water because you just entered the race card. So now that's what your real issue was. So remember, if you want to hide behind, oh, she's not pretty enough, well, then you can't say the race part. You just got to hide behind, well, I don't think she's pretty enough. Okay, cool. Then we have nothing to say to you other than that's your opinion, right?
Yeah, right.
But if you bring up the race, then I can say fuck you. Now,
right.
Moving on. So a lot of people crying about the sound. They'd be like, "Oh, I can't hear it's muffled." Again, I'm cool with I'm cool with that. Some people out there comment in the section, do you have an issue with the sound? Like I say, you can look at Tenet. A lot of people were crying about Tenet. Oh, I couldn't hear what they're saying on the boat. Look, you don't know what. Even if you heard what I've watched that movie 1,000 times, I still don't know what's going on. I still don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't care. I love that movie.
Me too. My wife and
I flew to San Diego during the pandemic to see that movie because it wasn't showing anywhere around us in San Jose. And I left the theater knowing I loved what I just watched, but I'm like, I wish I knew what the fuck was happening. Goddamn.
I'm the same way. You know what?
But I can promise you
that's one of my favorite films. Yeah.
But I can promise you, it had nothing to do with a couple of scenes where their voices were muffled. Right. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing in this. People also crying about like, this movie's too dark. I can't see anything. I don't hear y'all crying about the Batman. I don't hear y'all crying about the Dark Knight. Like, I don't hear y'all crying about half of the horror movies that have been made from the 80s through the early 2000s. Like, movies are dark from time to time. Yeah. And quite frankly, again, the verisimilitude of it. If you are in the middle of have you ever been camping before? Did you ever turn off your flashlight? Dude, could you see what the fuck is going on in the woods? You couldn't, you can't. So Chris Nolan is gonna let you see what he wants you to see.
Right.
Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the escapism. Right?
Yeah.
So for me, I didn't think the movie was too dark. I didn't have an issue with the sound design at all. That's just me. It's a creative choice. You dig what I'm saying? So, number one, if you go to a certain relative's house all the time for Christmas or Thanksgiving, and you feel like they cook like shit, eventually you're gonna have to learn you should probably eat before you go. You go say, hey, what's up, grandma? Hey, how you doing, auntie and uncle? You know, hang out, whatever. But don't expect the food to be delicious. If you go to a Christopher Nolan film and you know, I'm probably going to get a couple of dark scenes, probably going to get a couple of muffled voices, but
Hello.
hopefully I'm able to follow along throughout this 3-hour movie enough to enjoy it. Don't walk out of the movie and be like, it was too dark in parts. The sound wasn't really that good in parts. Let the shit go.
I know.
Let the shit go.
Yeah, and you know what? Like you said too, and people still come to see it. You already seen like 4
you
or 5
already paid the money, man.
You
Let it
already
go.
know what's happening, and you gonna still bitch about it. You've been bitching about it since Batman. Hell, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he did in Memento. I saw Memento. I heard everything just fine. If he changed his ways, who knows? Who cares? It's the fact that did it help? Did it hurt you? Know? Or did you enjoy the film? Number one. Did it hurt you to enjoy the film? Number two. Did it hurt you understand the film?
I
Like
submit no.
just insane. Like no, it's like so. If it doesn't affect you, then stop crying. So yes, Justin, I'm there with you, bro.
Just also, and the funny thing is, the funny thing is, a lot of that is the to use Chris Nolan is the inceptioning from other people. Like if you read a comment or if you read a review and it said, "Oh, the sound was this and that," well, now you're going into the movie looking for that moment, and you're like, "Yeah, I did notice that." No, the fuck you didn't. Stop it.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? And you know what? I think that too. If you can, especially if you want to see something, this may be off the beaten path. I just have to throw this in there. Just don't stop looking at stuff. Like if you're gonna look at a movie, you're ready to see a movie, and you're really excited about it, just stop looking at stuff. Like don't go online too much. Just stop, because you're gonna come in there with preconceived notions. You're gonna come in there with like these ghosts and these murmurs that you heard a couple of days before, and they're all gonna seep in. And when you look at it, you're not gonna enjoy the film. The best thing about any film is to go in there as blind as you possibly can. We understand it's hard nowadays because you turn on your phone, and once you turn it on, someone's like, "Yeah!" in your face. You know, it's hard for you to move away. But if you can, you know, it's tough.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Motherfuckers be tripping out there. It's not that hard. I watch a lot. I watch at least like 4 consistent review people, right? That I've been following from like mid 2000s, like 2011 to now. I watch them all the time. They review same movies I review, but I don't watch their reviews before I review a movie. I don't talk to other people about certain things because I want my own thoughts to come through. I view these people as high. I put them on a high pedestal because I've been watching them for so long. I want to be as good as them or as successful as them in this review space. So when I watch their videos after mine and they say some similar shit, maybe just a little bit different because we're different people, I'm like, oh, cool. Like we say the same thing. Cool, that's whatever. But in the end of the day, I'm not going to read a review. I'm not going to watch a review. I try to stay away from trailers as best I can. The only trailers I purposely watch, I don't purposely watch them, but they're in the movie theater when I go to watch a movie. That is it. As much as I want to watch certain other trailers or behind the scenes stuff or special little, featurettes or whatever like that, because they have a ton of those things going on right now. I do my best to stay away from it because I've been watching movies since I was a little boy, man. I'm 40 fucking 2 years old right now. I can tell you what's going to happen in the movie before enough of what's going to happen in the movie based on one fucking trailer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't care if I know what's going to happen or not. It's not the point. The point is I just want to sit in the theater and allow this creator to give me what they want to give me. I don't want to know what someone else's think piece was or whatever. If you're the type of person that does that, my wife does that shit. She'll watch reviews before she goes to see a movie.
I know.
And I'm like,
my
man,
wife
why are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell?
Kill yourself.
You know what I mean? People will do that. And I'm like, nah, just go and watch the movie. And then afterwards, let's discuss. Let's chop it up.
That's the best thing. You're right. I'm the same way too, because even the people that I do, like you say, I have my same people, and a lot of you and I actually see, talk to, look at the same people for reviews. A lot of people out there know that the famous names, and we watch those guys too. But when I see them review a movie I haven't seen yet, I don't even look at it. You're right. You could just say no. I just say no. It's afterwards. Even if I know a movie I want to see, and Justin is seeing it, he's reviewing. I'm like, nah. If I'm not going to see it, I don't wait nothing. I'll wait till I see it and then come back and say, what did Justin say about it?
The most I'll do is this, because I know some people out there be like, oh, this, that, whatever. Look, the most I'll do is like either I'll try to gauge maybe by the people I follow. I'll gauge by their thumbnail. This is good. Do they like it?
Right.
I don't know.
Their face expressions.
Or at least in my reviews, I try to say early on if I thought the movie was trash or not, or if it was hella good or whatever. later on, I don't. If first of all, if you're watching my reviews, if a movie is great and I think it's good, I'm not gonna spoil it. So you don't got to be fearful to watch my reviews. If it's trash, I'm gonna spoil the fuck out that motherfucker because I got to give you examples as to why I thought it was trash.
Right.
But the point is, I will more than likely say up top. You know what I'm saying? So I might watch someone's review just to see up top. Oh, it was good. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna turn that shit off. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll go in there and enjoy the movie. But yeah, in the end of the day, if people are talking about, oh, the lighting looks like this or the sound is like that, you're still going to formulate your own mind on what was the movie overall. What was the experience like overall? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, just the movie itself. Just enjoy the movie itself. And yes, every movie's not perfect. That's just the whole point of it because humans make it. We make these things. But all in all, you're going to like it or you're not going to like it. And I do want to
now let me
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, now let me ask you this, because for me, I do think this movie was damn near perfect. You know what I'm saying? I can't really point to anything upon just one viewing. I can't point to anything where I'm like, could do without, could do without this, could do without that, whatever. I thought it was great. For you, what do you feel is some maybe downgrades about the film? What do you feel that was like, yeah, you know, maybe this could have been done a little bit different or whatever? Like,
There's one particular thing that I felt that could have been better because I'm comparing it to a film that is just an epic, one of the top films of all time. Is I think is the it's the landscaping imagery, like how much he's shown. There was moments it was beautiful, like he caught like that beach shot was fucking phenomenal. But I heard about that too, like, oh, it's beautiful. You know, he was in the mountains. They did all this. They did all that. I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings. You want to see something where you feel those guys went through some shit, and you want to see some beautiful landscapes. That's a movie that can easily dwarf this one when it comes to that. I mean, you had helicopters looking at mountains from miles away. You had the actors on the edge of the mountains for like at least 30 seconds running where you saw this beautiful landscape of mountains. I mean, there was plenty of those. So when you think about a movie, when they say, oh, this movie has the best landscaping scene, or you can see all of the work that's into it. Yes, you can see the work into it, but I can still bring other movies where I could say, I can see more of the heartache and the scrapes and the bruises from the actors than these guys. Lord of the Rings to me was the biggest one because I followed it for so long. And when you look at the movie again, you can see like there's so I don't want to go into the Lord of the Rings thing because it's not about Lord of the Rings, but that's the only thing. Otherwise, I think it's fine. But the scope of things, like the scope when it comes down to like the set design or the scope when he's out and about, like either on the beach or the field or whatever. Just the scope of it to me could have been a little bit better. I mean, even Tarantino's Hateful Eight had better landscaping than that. So there's certain things you could, I could cherry pick if you want, but that's just so. But that's pretty much it. Because I think this is a movie that even if you say, well, you know what, I didn't like this or whatever, this is a movie that's going to grow on you and grow on you like moss. It's just going to cover you up and you're going to love it. You're going to just sit in it. And when it's on, you say, I have to watch this in the best possible format. And speaking of format, hey, Justin, we didn't bring this up. We brought in the beginning of this before we close out, is that being that this was shot on IMAX, 70 millimeter film, right? And the print itself, I think it's 24 prints, I believe, that he said he has that's throughout the United States, if not the world. But no, there's 24 prints, 24. That is the actual print where you can view it in a true IMAX place with that print to see exactly how Christopher Nolan was looking at the movie when he was editing, how he looked at the movie when he was filming. Like that's how it looked to him, So there's a place here in Vegas, only one place where we're having the GainesCon Film Festival this December 4th and 5th at the Brendan Theater. Okay, the Brendan Theater actually is one of those theaters. They're one of the 24 that actually has a true IMAX theater, and they're showing the movie in the true 70 millimeter print. So I was trying to get in there, and obviously I could not get in. Literally, let me take this out before we move on. I went ahead and said, you know what? I saw this in like Justin, what you say is called not IMAX, but
LiveMax.
LiveMax, right? Right. So I saw it kind of in the LiveMax one, It was in a Regal Theater. It's real nice. It says IMAX. I'm quite sure it is, but it's not, true IMAX, but it's as much as you're going to get. Oh Oh, I forgot what my train of thought was about the IMAX deal. But either way, if you can see the IMAX, then do see. Oh, that's right. I wanted to try to see it, Justin. So I was like, you know what? I want to see it again. It's very rare. Like
Oh yeah, I
Sinners
want to
was
see it
one
as
I
well.
want to see again. It's very rare that I want to see a movie again in the theaters, right? So I
I would
said, I
love to
want to
see
see
this
it
again.
again. I want to see the 70 millimeter this time. I really want to see it in true IMAX. Yo, bro, I cannot get into that theater for like 2 weeks. Literally, like
Yeah, I heard a lot of the IMAX theaters were like booked out for like at least like 2 or 3 weeks.
it's
I mean,
crazy, bro.
they started selling tickets to this movie a year ago, like literally a
Yeah,
year ago.
right,
And those
right.
original 70 millimeter IMAX theaters, gone.
Done.
Forget
And
about it.
I'm like, yo, they have 8 o'clock in the morning shows. There's one of my guys I listen to, one of the comedians, Tony Baker. But Tony Baker, if you're there, yo, good work, bro. I'll follow you for years. But he said he went 7:30 in the morning, barely up, and it was like, sold out. Like, yo, it's like,
You know what I would
oof.
love to do? You know what I'd love to do? Find a theater that's like show because I heard there was like through the night showings at some places.
Yeah, one
Like
o'clock
remember
in the
back when
morning.
Infinity War and Endgame were coming out, they're doing like midnight showings and shit.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
love, I would love to see a midnight showing or some early, like random ass time in the morning, like 5 in the morning or I don't know what, right? Tired as fuck. Watch the movie, be up, you know what I'm saying? All that.
Right.
And then after
Tearing
the
this
movie,
shit.
and then after the movie, go to a restaurant, get some breakfast, go home and pass the fuck out. My son wouldn't let me though. He'd keep my ass up, right?
He's like, yo, let's talk about. He'd be like, yo, Pop, let's talk about the
I
movie.
love to
Get
do.
your ass
That'd
up.
be a perfect morning for me. I love that shit.
Yo, you know what?
Hey,
You're
do you
right. I
think?
mean, I haven't done that.
Yeah, do you think? So here's the real question, y'all. Here's the real question, people. We are not even in the height of Oscar season, if you will. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We're still in
Right.
summertime. We're
Yeah.
still fucking in summertime, and we just
Yeah.
got this. You got Dune 3 coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Nolan and Denis Villeneuve, arguably the best directors doing it today.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably the best directors consistently doing it today. Dune is going to go down as one of the best trilogies ever. It's going to rival the original Star Wars trilogy. Look, if we're going like Star Wars is special.
Oh, okay.
Star
So
Wars,
yeah.
Star Wars is special. But if we're
Yeah.
going like film for film, plot for plot, craft for craft, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, George. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, George, but I feel like Dune's gonna take this shit for real. So the question is, both of these movies are getting nominated for Best Picture. I don't think
Yeah.
there's a world where that does not happen.
Yeah.
Both Odyssey and Dune 3 are getting nominated for Best Picture. I can't speak on everything else. Maybe
Right.
Sheep Detective. I heard that movie's really good. Okay. but but do we think if it comes down to Denny and Chris, like realistically, we haven't seen Dune yet, but just off what we know,
Easy.
what do we think? What do we think?
Easy. Odyssey out the park. Easy.
You think
Because you know
so?
why? Yeah, because there's already 2 Dunes, so it's not a big deal anymore. You're just trying to
Uh,
wrap it up. It's a
here's
big
what I'll push
movie.
back on. Here's what I'm gonna push back on. I can't remember exactly what Denny said, but he said like the first Dune movie was like, I don't know. He's trying to make it happen. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever he said. That was.
Exactly.
The second one was for like film purists, like cinephiles. And then I think
Right.
he said that this third one is like his blockbuster. It's like for the fans. Like
Right. It's gonna be a
if
lot of action.
if you've seen the
It's
trailer, it's gonna be crazy action, dope ass action. You know what I'm saying? Pew pew pew, lasers and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what kills us every time, right?
And then also you got Paul Atreides as like a heel turn. Like he's gonna be a bad guy in this fucking movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
There's some real shit going on. It's gonna
Right.
get real. Now the other thing is Christopher Nolan just won for Oppenheimer. You feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
does the Academy look at and say, all right, Chris Nolan just won Best Director, Best Picture, Oppenheimer, let's go. Cillian Murphy, Best Actor, let's go. And then you got Timothée Chalamet, arguably he's up next. You know what I'm saying? We just saw that in the last Oscars. And then now you got Denny, who Denny has given us nothing but greatness with everything that Denny has not made a bad film. Understand that.
Yeah.
So does the Academy say Chris got his thing.
I gotta think about this. All right. So
the only way I see them overlooking Denny, who hasn't got his just due yet, and Chris did. The only way I see them overlooking is, once again, the same reason that Brian, like, Sinners got as much love as it did, as many nominations as it did, and the same reason that Michael B. Jordan got Best Actor. One, Michael B. Jordan Best Actor because of the complexities of it. So for Chris Nolan, filming everything in IMAX, I mean, they cutting this bitch with scissors and tape. MacGyver
yeah, it's
sweat.
crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, yo. Old
so
school.
They doing it classic old school. Hollywood loves old school. Okay?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm
saying?
IMAX is selling T-shirts and sweatshirts because of Christopher Nolan.
Exactly.
So the campaign is gonna be heavy. That's the only reason. It's going to be heavy.
All right, so I you know what? It's funny. It's a really great question, but it's a really great question, Justin, and that's really tough because people may say, like I said at first, right? I say, I think it's going to be Odyssey easy, but then you brought some good points. Now it made me think. I'm like, because I can see him do this. Did he get anything for the other two? They're like, nah, but it made $1 billion. It's already a classic. We didn't really give him anything. He's gonna tie this up with the bow really nicely in the third one. And we know that Nolan's still going to give us he's still going to give us some beautiful stuff in the future. We still got stuff coming, so it's not like this is it, right? Although I heard Nolan say he's going to take 3 years off, so I don't blame him. After this one, and then I say them just give it to him because of the 3. Yes, I think that being that. One big thing that can actually knock Dune out the way you just brought up is, I guess we did was any really buying tickets a year before time? Like they'll look at the muscle. No one's buying Dune tickets a year before time, but they were doing Odyssey. And like you said, also keeping the prestigeness of cinema. Like Nolan's doing that. Nolan said, I'm keeping that shit alive, peeps. He's not. He's making some good shit.
Denny are on the same page for sure.
Yeah, I mean, keep it exactly. But I think that even though Denny maybe has done it as well, like film, I'm not sure, but they're making a big push, like you said, like for Nolan, he makes yo, we're using celluloid, bro, and we're using 70, and then when we're not using 70, we're using Super 35, or we're doing that. We're using celluloid, so I'm still cinema, and I'm going to show you what cannot be replaced. Hollywood loves that. Like, yo, you're the one that's pushing that shit a lot. Denny isn't. Yes, Denny is great, but I think that's not his campaign. And he doesn't. And if he did, it'd be stupid because they said, you can't do the same thing Nolan is. Even if he wanted to, he can't. It just won't look right. It's like, we trying to do what Nolan's doing.
The other thing when you mentioned muscle, the other thing is, and again, I've only seen one. I've only seen Odyssey, which I thought was dope. I want to watch it again. I want to live in that world. It's all good. But I can tell you this. Something tells me that the rewatchability for the general population that will go back again and again and again.
I think it's Odyssey, man.
For Dune,
it's hard. I don't know.
The action, the pull that fucking Timothée Chalamet has, and Zendaya has, and Jason Momoa has, like the pull that all these people have that want to see them, and then the action and how.
That's right, and that's right. And Robert Patrick's in there too.
Robert Pattinson's in it too. This man's in everything. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Robert Pattinson is the new fucking. There was a guy who was just like in every fucking thing for a second.
Oh, you could say he has a Samuel Jackson year. Him and Momoa, because Momoa has like 3 films now or something like that this year, something like that. And
so I don't know. All I know is, I've been hearing some pretty. I mean, the funny thing is, in this year, I was telling someone this the other day. We have Odyssey that just got here. You got Dune 3 conclusion coming up.
Yep.
And you got Doomsday. In one fucking calendar year.
That's tough because Doomsday.
Odyssey, Dune, and Doomsday. If Doomsday
nominated
hits,
already,
that's should.
Yeah. That's gonna be already nominated. Yeah.
I cannot wait until they're carrying these bitches at Walmart. Because I'm assuming on 4K. It's not even a question. It's not even a
Yeah, I'm
question.
buying. Yes, I hope they have a box set because I'm buying that bitch up
Oh
right away.
man,
All of
this
them,
this is
all of
such
them.
a
So,
we're eating good right now. We're eating
oh,
good. If
we
you're a
are.
film fan, with all
Yes.
the horror movies that we've been getting, with all the
Mm,
good horror that we've been getting from last year
yeah.
to this year, Project Hail Mary earlier this year.
Yeah.
You
All
know what I'm
right.
saying?
Right. Right. I forgot about that. That's
Project
right.
Hail
That's
Mary
right.
earlier this year,
That's
and
getting
then
nominated.
and then and then this movie this Odyssey, and then Dune, and then a couple of other movies coming out this year too.
I
Man, we are
know.
eating good
I
right now.
know. Yeah, we are. We are. You
Oof.
know, and there's a lot of like these indie film, these lower films coming out are just kind of like kicking the ass. And I think they are going to give them some. I think the Oscars going to bring them in. I can see was a back room and of course
Oh yeah,
obsession. Like
back room. Yeah.
I can see them just kind of throwing a bone out there just to kind of say, hey, listen, this is where the world's going. People are loving this. We can't ignore it. I mean, we can't ignore it. So let's just throw them, even if they don't win nothing, but let's just throw them in there, because they're just that good. Um, but when it comes out to the three heavyweights, yeah, it's going to be like you said, Odyssey, Dune, and Avengers.
Check
Avengers.
this out.
Let me tell you this. Oh, hold on, real quick. I got a question for you before you get into that. You know, Avengers and Dune's come out at the same time, right?
Oh, I know
And
that. I
right,
know that.
and you know, Dune has all the IMAX theaters. They bought it up,
Hmm.
so Avengers can't get into it. And they were trying to. I don't know how the Avengers dropped the ball on that one. Kevin Feige, what you doing? I don't know what happened. But anyway, Dune got it. Do you think first weekend, because they come at the same time, right? You know, there's memes about people having two theaters by each other and one going in and the other person goes right into
I'm ready.
Dune. Like they're just
I
going
want to
right,
do it. I
they're
want to
just going
do it.
right into it, right? So who you think is going to be bigger that weekend?
I don't see a world where Avengers does not beat out Dune's box office. I
I
just don't
agree.
not even see, come on. It's not even a question.
I think yeah.
Avengers clearly is going to
The first
sweep.
weekend. Yeah.
First weekend sweeping.
Sweet.
Um what's going to be interesting is just to see how they go. I don't see Dune
Hmm.
outgrossing Avengers in general. I just don't see it. I,
Well, if
come
well,
no, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
mm,
While there's a lot of people that love Dune, Avengers,
they have more fans.
we're not just talking about a family that will go see Avengers.
Yeah.
Mom, dad, kids, friends in the neighborhood, the whole
Mm,
family is
mm.
going to see Avengers. But we're also
Right.
talking about grown people without families. I don't know why I pointed at myself, but grown people,
That's me. I'll do that. Grown
right?
people like myself, right?
Grown people without families that love the comics and grew up on the cartoons and all that
Mm,
sort of stuff, or have been watching these movies as of late, they gonna go see it. And if
yeah.
you ain't even got kids, well, there was a time there's a time in a little bit of my youth long ago when I didn't have kids. I went and saw Fast and the Furious 6 like 5 times in the theater because
Wow. Right.
I didn't have nobody to tell me no. Do whatever the fuck I
Right.
want.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So if you
Right.
got someone like, sitting around like, 20 to 30, whatever, and they don't got kids, they can do whatever the fuck they
Oh
want.
yeah.
They're gonna go
Yeah.
back and see that shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
I
are they necessarily
yeah.
gonna do that with Dune? I don't know.
Yeah, the Doom rewatchability, yes, because first of all, when it comes down to Avengers, I still think, yeah, I mean, first of all, Avengers has more people, more fans than Doom. I mean, it's obvious on that, right?
It's just the
I
way it
don't,
is.
it's just the way it is. But I think that like the first weekend, yes, I agree. I think that Avengers going to blow it out the water. But then, of course, whatever's going to happen afterwards, depending how good it is and all that, of course, that depends on next weekend. But the first weekend, the opening day, I think most people not only are going to go in because they're fans, because you and I are going to be the nerds in there anyway, but we're also going in there to see, are they really turning the tide? Are they going back to what made them big in the first place, what made them beautiful in the first place? Like that's their whole hook. Like that's their whole thing. Bringing back the brothers, um, the Russo brothers, bringing
Russo
them
brothers.
back. Of course, bringing Robert Downey back, bringing all these legacy guys back so you can bring all of the people who said, "Oh, I remember those guys. Let's see if they could do it one more time." Right? So you have that flood coming in because eventually they're all going to go anyway, and the new one's going to come in, the X-Men, the new Avengers, and all that stuff. So I think a lot of his curiosity is like, because I know I'm that guy. Like I'm going to see it anyway. They already got me. They don't
Oh
need to
yeah.
like sell. But I
Mhm.
know, and I'm quite sure you can agree on this. I'm curious to see what they're going to do. Like
I'm gonna
that's
tell you
their
this.
whole thing. What do you think?
I'm gonna tell you this. I think this movie is gonna be great. I'm Avengers. I think it's gonna be
Mhm.
great. I think it's gonna do just fine. It's gonna do great. Huge numbers for sure. Um, a lot of people would try to say that Disney's been on an uptick because of uh, Wolverine and Deadpool, or Deadpool and Wolverine, whatever you want to call it,
Yes, they
and
have
all that
been.
sort of stuff.
Yes. Yes.
That's Ryan Reynolds. That's Fox. Y'all gotta let that shit go. Okay, Ryan
Mhm.
Reynolds came up with that whole concept for that particular movie. That was his DNA all over that. Marvel's had a little bit of dips, but I think that this movie probably will bring back their magic, given the fact
Mhm.
that as the conception of this movie has come about was when Kevin Feige had his power back. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to go through all the checks and balances and whatever else like this. They slowed down their production on a bunch of other things. So I think this movie is
Right.
going to do just fine. It's going to be dope. You're introducing the X-Men. Hopefully, I'm sure they're going to stick the landing, but
Mm.
you're not going to please everybody, but it's still going to be pretty fly. Regardless, there's so much in this movie
Mm.
that, in a weird way, it sounds kind of weird to say, there's so much going on in this movie that I don't
Yeah.
think it can fail. There's
Mm.
because it's kind of like, the law of numbers. If you're making a bunch of sales calls, if you call like 100 people, you're gonna make a handful of sales. So there's so much going
Yeah.
in this
Right.
movie.
Right.
Someone's gonna
Right.
grab a hold of some shit and be like, yo, I like that. I didn't really care for that, but fuck this part right here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna do great. Here's the real question. I'm talking to Martin Scorsese out there.
All right.
The real gauge is gonna be, is it an amusement park or is it cinema that wins the day? That's gonna be the real fun, because
Yeah. Yeah.
there's people like on Martin Scorsese's side when he said, "Oh, all these comic book movies, that ain't cinema." Well, I
Yeah.
think it
Whatever.
is. I,
I
I
think
personally think that it
no,
is.
it is. That is
It
cinema.
is, right? You know
It
what I'm saying?
is. That
But
is
it's
cinema.
gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Amusement park or cinema.
yeah. But you
Either
know
way,
what?
we win. Either
I
way,
think
I win.
I think all of the Avengers were all cinema. The way it was shot, how the scope of it, everything. That cinema itself, the storyline, like everything is there. It's like, come on, guys. If you look at this, any director would tell you, like, this is not. You're not looking at the Blue Beetle. You're not looking at that scale. You're looking at an enormous scale. So, in the depth of like just the aesthetics, and everything else, the storyline, the whole deal, the seriousness that every actor took for those characters, everything was very, very deep. So yes, especially when it comes down to the Avengers one, and of course, the second one, and of course the End Game, and it's not going to change because the Russo brothers will say we need to up that from End Game. Like they already said, it's going to be bigger than End Game. Well, not this one. The second one is. That's what they said. So I'm like, good God, like what are they gonna do? So they're already planning it. It's like, listen, if you don't like this one too much, wait till you see the last one. And it's like you're gonna see shit that you haven't even seen. In fact, you're probably gonna see shit you didn't even know we can do. So I think that yes, you're right, Justin. I think there's no way this is gonna fail. It's just a matter of like rewatchability. But I think that being that the Rooster Brothers did Endgame and the other one, right? I think that they said, you know what, we're just going to copy template, copy paste. We already know it works, so why
Yeah.
try to? We're just going to add stuff to the source, but just leave the base. Everyone loves it. We're not going to change it. It's going to have the same look, probably the same music. Sometimes they're going to have the same, some of the same costumes coming back. You're going to have like the same things almost coming back, and they're going to drop some new stuff in there. They said, but why reinvent the wheel? We already know it works. So, and like you said, Justin, it's going to work because we like it. But I think that's why I asked you, like, who you really think is going to like blow it up in the first weekend. And I agree, as good as Dune is, as big as it is, yeah. But when it comes down to the before we close out, man, I know we said this about a half hour ago, but we do say this for real. That we do say this for like the Oscars. Because hey guys, we love like award shows. It's just fun. It's just fun to see who gets it, even if it's not fair. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's fun. Okay. Um, what movies do you think are going to be the ones? Maybe we just said it. That's really going to be the real concern of like it's going to be one of these guys. And no one, everyone else is just there for this is just to fill up the freaking numbers. But these are the ones that actually have a really good chance of getting the like picture of the year. Even when it comes down to say, hey, let's just go for it, Justin. Let's go for it, yo. Best actor. No, I mean, it's like you can see it already. Who can that possibly be? Matt Damon's going to get, excuse me, Matt Damon's going to get nominated for Best Actor, hands down. That's saying he's going to win, right? We said that Odyssey is going to be for Best Picture, Dune, Avengers. Who do you think is that fourth one? Like, it's three, but it's always, you're going to be that dark horse, that one is like, you know what? That motherfucker could sleep. And if he doesn't, if it may not win Picture of the Year, but you think that something from it is going to win something from it.
Mhm.
I don't know. You know what? I can't think of anyone right now.
I
I'm
heard
looking at,
real quick, you know what I'm saying, before we get up out of here, so I'm starving. But
right.
I've heard that Obsession is getting some talk. I
Mm,
don't know how big or how legitimate,
I think
but I
Obsession
do
is going to
think
be the one.
I
I agree.
honestly do think it would be dope.
I
Whether
agree.
it wins or not, I think it would be huge. I mean, Sinners, look, Sinners is I wouldn't necessarily personally call Sinners a horror movie, but it's definitely got horror elements to it,
Yes.
right? And there's like
Right.
a lot of blood and it's rated R, all those different types of things, right? Obsession's kind of in the same vein where Obsession, the writing in that movie, goddamn. So I think if
Yeah.
that movie
Yeah.
was nominated, that's a huge push for genre
Yeah.
films
I
if it
think, you
gets
know what?
nominated,
I
even for
think what
screenplay, even for
no, you
screenplay.
for screenplay, I think it can get nominated for that. But I tell you what's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to call it out. All right, I'm going for it right now, guys. Record this, okay? So, and I'll tell you why I'm saying this real quick before you run. Obsession. What's her name? Indy Never Ready, right? She killed it. I saw it. I don't know if you saw it yet. Did you see it yet, Justin?
I
If it
did
comes
see
out,
it,
did see,
loved
right?
it, loved it.
So Indy killed it. I mean, her range. I mean, she killed it. And there's rumor, just rumor. We don't know how true it is. It's been out there that the director of the new X-Men already reached out and asked, "Hey, would you like to be in the
I
X-Men
heard
movie?"
that. I heard
Okay.
that. Heard that.
So she has a new movie coming out, some other indie movie that's coming out that she made before this happened. But I think she's the new it girl for a little while. Like she's becoming the new it girl. So I think one way to do it is like, you know what, give her a nod. Even if she doesn't win the Oscar for best supporting, she's definitely gonna get nominated. There's no way if they don't nominate her this year, just nominate. I don't know what they're doing, but there's no way she's not going to get nominated. None. It's got to be. Who else is killing? Who else gave that a performance like that this year at all? Who went that deep? Who went that crazy? Who had all those layers as a character?
That's what I'm
You
about to say.
know,
Layers. Yep.
layers. I mean, who did that? Like who this year? Maybe there's someone we haven't seen yet, Justin, because there's a lot of shit out there. But right now, to
Yeah,
us,
we still got
I
some
don't know.
movies coming up though.
Yeah. Yes. So we do.
Yeah.
We do. All right, guys. So yes. So everyone out there, thank you very much for anyone who watched any portion of this live performances, streaming of me and Justin Green. Here, who is the new director of marketing for GainesCon Media Incorporated, is going to be here in December 4th and 5th at the Brendan Theater in Las Vegas. Yes, I know I'm rambling really fast, but go ahead, check us out. It's real. I want to get us out of here. And because we had such a great time tonight, and I want to say, everyone out there, thank you very much for anyone who watched any portion of this. And if you are watching us now on a rerun, you know what I mean, on the tape session, thank you too for even clicking play. So, again, I'm Barry Gaines of GainesCon Media Incorporated. You got Mr. Justin Green from Greene Screen on YouTube. Check it out.
Yeah.
He reviews films, and also check out our dual reviews that we always do every week at Mission Movie Reviews. Okay, and YouTube as well, and also action people out there, filmmakers, creators, please go to Film Freeway and submit your film to GainesCon Film Festival right now. That's going to be in Las Vegas this year. Again, okay, we're a nonprofit, so we'll love your support. And to everyone tonight, have a good night. Thank you again for hanging out with us, and we'll see you on the next run. All right,
Holla.
peace. Do you